Mm, 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 mm. Yo, what's up? Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. No matter how much of a fantastic day you are having, though, you will never be having as much of a fantastic day as Saif Talk after he gets high and talks about other people like me.
And he talks like this.
Yes. David, what's up, man? How you doing?
What are you up to? What? What is so funny? Don't you know that as long as you talk like this the entire time, the Ummah will be very impressed with you?
It's very funny because now earlier I had quite a good day actually today, and quite a good Saturday, and I at some point I was kind of lying down to rest a little bit.
You
and
see, the Apostate Prophet admits he was lying.
And thought to myself I should schedule the live stream for tonight, and then I just fell asleep like before I could schedule it, and which is basically what Muslims do when they fast on Ramadan. They just basically just sleep during the day.
AP is Ramadan fasting. He's sleeping all day and eating all night.
So that's what I did, and then I woke up, and it's like it's almost time to go live, and I thought, oh man. So I opened my YouTube tab, and there I see a recommendation by Saif Talk, and it was about me. And I thought, oh boy. I looked a little bit at it, and I thought, this is interesting. Let's have a look at that. So
we always love Saif Talk.
Saif Talk. Saif Talk. Let's look at Saif Talk. Let's see what Saif Talk says. Saif Talk. Now, for those who missed it, yesterday we did a live stream in which we talked about basically my Mein Kampf toward my struggle with religious belief and all that, and my recent journey towards approaching religion and Christianity. So, Saif Talk, together with some other Muslims, decided to comment on it. The thing is, so far, until this point, I have not officially said that I am a Christian. That's that. However, I still have very much expressed that I have engaged in Christian practices, such as praying and all that. But Saif Talk made a video in which he basically says, "I posted a prophet converted to Christianity. Now let's look at what his religion, Christianity, says, and why he is completely wrong and a hypocrite." So let's have a look at that. What happened with me is that I am currently accepted in the Eastern Orthodox Church as a catechumen, as David calls it, because he doesn't know the word catechumen, or what some other people call catechumen, which is somebody joins the church and learns as they go, in order to then finally become a member of the church once they are ready, and to be baptized and be a full-fledged Christian ready to take over the world. That's basically where I am right now. I have still not officially said that I'm a Christian, because I want to reserve that to a better time. However, let us look at this, David. Are you ready for a Saif talk? Good. Ida Rogozin, what's up, Ida? Here we have some Turkish guy just cussing, which is very. It's Turkish people are very sophisticated. Like you will often see. You will often see reactions from different people. I have to give Turks credit, or I have to give other Muslims credit where credit is due. Like when you usually have discussions online, there will be Muslims of different backgrounds, from different Arab countries or from Pakistan and so on, who will say some really nasty things, but also actually make a point or arguments. You will have people of different backgrounds say different things, make different points, different arguments, be a little bit nasty occasionally. But then a Turk enters the discussion, and what they do is, I will F your mother and your sister, and we'll do this and this and that. Like, this is the only thing they know. I'm serious. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, whenever I see a Turkish comment somewhere, it's just about, I want to penetrate. So here's one just insulting my mother and my family and something like that. That's it. Like, this is all Turks can do. It's like, this is Turkish culture. This is Turkish culture. You should always go and try out Turkish culture. This is why I suggest visiting Turkey, visiting Istanbul, or Constantinople, visiting different parts of Turkey for once, because there is some value to it. You could go to Italy, and you could visit all the Roman architecture, all the Italian food and all of that. You can go to France and smell the sewer stuff in Paris. You can go to London and see Muslims everywhere. You could go to, Germany and drink like solid beer and all of that. You can go to Egypt and look at the pyramids, and then you can go to Turkey and just hear the way people communicate of how I want to have sex with your mother and your sister. This is a very, very good aspect of Turkish culture, alhamdulillah. Anyway, Isaiah Wagner, what's up? Isaiah Wagner said, 15 et on n'allume pas une lampe pour le mettre sous les buissons, mais on le met sur les chandeliers. Et il éclaire tous ceux qui sont dans la maison.
Sont dans la maison?
Oh.
What?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Someone said if you just repeat the last 3 or 4 words that a French person is saying to you and make it like a question, they'll keep going, and you can just keep talking to them forever.
Que votre lumière lui ainsi devant les hommes, afin qu'ils voient vos bonnes œuvres et qu'ils glorifiant votre Père qui est dans les cieux. I have no idea what any of this means, and I'm pretty sure that half of that was completely botched pronunciation, but whatever. All right, let's go.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's video, we're going to react to Ridvan's conversion to Christianity and how it proves that everything he was saying against Islam is false and just...
Wait, what? Hold up, man. I'm still trying to share this link. I had to turn my stuff off, so I had to log back into all my accounts. I'm still trying to share it, and he's being hilarious. Okay.
Man.
Muslim logic fails. Muslim fails logic. All right. Hang on. Okay.
This is incredible, man. We're only a few seconds into the video, and he's already... I don't even know what to say.
Start it over, man. Start it over. I just sent out my link. I'm good.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's video, we're going to react to Ridvan's conversion to Christianity and how it proves that everything he was saying against Islam is false and just expose himself.
And he exposed himself like Sauda exposed herself when she go to toilet, and thus leading to hijab.
Now, I want to ask everyone who's watching this, when I ask the Muslims who are like, especially Muslims who have learned a little bit of logic, a little bit of logic, a little bit of reasoning. What he says here, does that make sense? We don't even have to know anything about. We don't even have to know what he's talking about. We don't even have to really know what I said before. We don't even have to know what he's referring to. But he says he's going to have a look at me converting to Christianity and why, therefore, everything I said is false. Does that make any sense, dear Muslims?
That makes zero sense. But what you'll find out is that as long as I say it like this, there is a certain subsection of Muslim community that will believe anything I say because they like talking to like this. It is interesting, man, the different dawah styles, right? So you got the people who like you to talk like this, and then you've got the other guys, you've been humiliated. And then for some reason they like, yeah, we're proud of that, right? And then you've got like the Lily J. Oh my gosh, ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh!
But they got all these different. Everyone has to talk weird in some way.
My
right?
mind is blown right
Like,
now.
hang on. Like seriously, where is the da'i who just communicates straightforward and normally and effectively? It's like that doesn't. It's just not appealing to you. You have to be over the top in various ways, or they don't pay any attention to it.
Well, you have some like Shabir Ali, but nobody likes him. So
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's ineffective. It's ineffective. If Shabir Ali had come out, hey everyone, I'm going to debunk the Christianity now, then they would love him.
Yeah. Man.
Like, whoa, he sounds
exactly like Ridvan's conversion to Christianity and how it proves that everything he was saying against Islam is false, and just expose himself without even realizing it. He was claiming
it doesn't work. Like,
hey, you converted to something. This proves that everything you said against Islam is false.
In the mind?
I mean, maybe he's gonna make some brilliant point here or something like that. But so for instance, if you condemn wife beating in Islam and you say, hey, Islam promotes wife beating, that's messed up. Oh, now I've converted to Christianity. How would that mean your criticism was wrong? I'm not understanding.
It wouldn't. But that's just how Muslim logic works.
Claiming to be an ex-Muslim, but for some reason, he believes today that it's better to worship a human being than the creator of all human beings. Inshallah, we'll react to some of his claims against Islam and compare them to what his new religion teaches, and if it agrees with Islam or not, exposing his hypocrisy. But before that,
you're kind of being very fast, Saif Taki. I mean, I'm taking it very slow. You're taking it very, very fast. Apparently, you can't wait for me to become a Christian and all that. So, very, very cool. But I wonder if he further talks about the whole idea of worshipping a man instead of worshipping a God. But seriously, man, you guys really need to develop some new ways to attack Christianity. This whole, are you worshipping a man? Why are you worshipping a man? You worship a God.
Hey,
really, really old.
Hey, Saif Talk. You know who else worshipped Jesus? His companions, who, according to your book, were devout Muslims. So devout Muslims are supposed to worship Jesus. Do the math. This program is about you having a problem with logic. According to the Quran, Jesus' followers were devout Muslims, but Jesus' followers worshipped him on numerous occasions. Therefore, devout Muslims are allowed to worship Jesus.
Interesting.
Therefore, AP is still a devout Muslim. You understand? I'm using your logic now, Saif Talk. This is how you guys make connections.
That is true. Matthew 5:14-16. Apparently earlier when this dude Isaiah Wagner in our chat was posting things in French. That was actually him posting Matthew 5:14-16,
Sermon on the Mount.
which is, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Based. Anyway, let's see.
is against Islam and compare them to what his new religion teaches, and if it agrees with Islam or not, exposing his hypocrisy. But before that, let's see the picture he posted announcing his conversion to Orthodox Christianity. Do you
Aha!
know
Do
what
you
this
see his
woman
wife?
did?
She is
Yes,
wearing hijab.
She's wearing a hijab.
covering
She's
herself.
wearing the hijab.
wearing
And what does
hijab.
AP
Someone
say? He
replied,
says any religion that has women wearing hijab, we will destroy that religion.
He even said the word. Look at this. He says the word.
is wearing? Yes, she's covering herself and wearing hijab. Someone replied to her and said, her man called Islam oppressive as a job for 10 years just to make
That didn't say her man. Why did you censor this? This was your fellow Muslim. That didn't say her man.
Bull, what did it say?
That's not what it said. That's not what it said. Saif Talk. Why are you censoring this for your dear brother, for your dear Muslim brother? I know you learn that we must cover my fellow Muslim brother's sins. I know, and that's what you believe.
Come
But
on.
why would you cover it for the rest of us? It's a lie.
It's Saif Talk. If Saif Talk says the post said her man, then that's what it must have said.
I wish.
But I don't know why he censored out her man.
Herman. Who is Herman?
Herman's Hermits.
So this is what it actually says.
I'm Henry the Eighth. I am Henry the Eighth. I am. I am. Oh, he didn't say her man.
So this
He
apparently
said
means
something else.
this apparently means her man.
Yes. Wherever I am from with this voice, we know what the word is for her man. Let me say it in many videos.
So, according to Saif Talk, this is apparently her man. Her man. This is how you say her man in where Saif Talk comes from. Now we know that. Fantastic. Now we know that. I actually responded to this and said, so this guy says, her man called Islam oppressive as a job for 10 years just to make his wife wear the hijab at the end. To which I said, my wife doesn't wear the hijab, nor do I make my wife do anything, you ignoramus.
Just to be clear, did you make your wife wear that?
No.
Did you tell her to and shame her or anything if she doesn't wear it?
No.
This is getting weird.
Well, it's kind of funny that you said that my wife would say this. I call him my N-word because it's like I have been recently listening
Yeah,
to.
it just means my man.
Yeah, I've actually been listening to this book. This is this very beautiful book which was recommended, which is The Imitation of Christ. I know, a very famous book. And I have been listening to an audio version of that, and the audio version, it just as I'm listening to it, it keeps talking about how there is the outward man and the inward man. But whenever it says that, it sounds kind of weird. But it talks about but the inward man does this, and the inward man does that, and the inward man does this, and the inward man focuses on God and all that. It's like, okay, got it. So anyway,
make his wife wear. Man called Islam oppressive as a job for 10 years just to make his wife wear the hijab at the end. And she replied, Christian women were veiling before Islam even existed. Yes, women were veiling before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially Christian and Jewish women, because
Hold on.
Bible says.
In Arabia, Saif Talk, pagan women were wearing burqas.
yes,
Pagan women.
yes.
That's our early description of the women of Arabia who were pagans.
He's actually going
They-
to bring that up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Traveler said, "Hey, they cover the women top to bottom, and occasionally you just see like an eye looking out or something like that. But that's all you see." It's interesting that ended up being part of Islam, that pagan stuff.
It's very, very funny, man. It's very funny.
Say so. And for some reason, Ridvan only has a problem with Muslim women wearing hijab. And according to him, Christian and Jewish women can wear whatever they want. They can even cover.
Yes, yes. You actually made a very, very interesting distinction there, Saif Talk. Women, not just Christian women and Jewish women, Christian women, Jewish women, and Muslim women, if it was for me, can wear whatever they want. Whatever they want. Okay. If it was for me, that's what I like. That's what I would like to say. They can wear whatever they want. Is that, however, the case with Muslim women? Can Muslim women wear whatever they want? David, according to Islam, can Muslim women wear whatever they want?
No, and it has like one of the harshest threats ever. It's veil themselves so they won't be molested. It's like saying, hey, if you don't cover your head, then you're asking to be molested.
If Muslim women actually had a practice, like if there wasn't a strict rule that Muslim women have to cover up entirely or else, but Muslim women or some Muslim women chose to simply cover themselves, I would see no problem with this at all.
Yeah, you guys have never heard me say I have a problem with a woman deciding to wear something, to wear a head covering.
In fact,
Why would I criticize that?
even now, while Islam has a strict rule to cover up, if a Muslim woman, purely of her own will and devotion, wants to wear a veil and do that, I would say that, oh, that's totally cool with me. It's totally cool with me. Yeah, whatever. I have no problems with it. I have no problems with it at all. What I do have a problem with, Saif Talk, is that your religion has a very, very strict, forced command to cover the women up. And that this is what women are subjected to, and what women must do, what women are forced to do. And the fact that this was historically enforced in Islamic societies is still enforced in several in society, Muslim society, very much, in at least one country everywhere legally. In other countries, in different parts, occasionally here and there, people are still killed over this. People are still beaten over this. You probably still would force the women around you to wear to veil or else, and so on. This is what I have a problem with. Saif Talk.
What's up with this beard?
That's not his beard.
What sect of Islam is this guy from, man?
That's his pubic hair, man. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying
Yeah,
he's got the little goat thing going on, but like what?
It looks ridiculous.
That's what I mean. Which Muslim group is this? That's what I'm saying.
It looks perfect.
This is not a Sunnah beard, man. This is not a Sunnah beard.
This is actually something that in Saudi Arabia, the Wahhabis and those developed and started doing, where they instead of keeping the whole beard, they just keep that part, and it just looks ugly as hell.
Christian and Jewish women can wear whatever they want. They can even cover their faces. They are never oppressed.
It is amazing to me that so many people in the West think that the hijab.
Did I say that anywhere? Did I ever say that women can cover their faces and they're never? I mean, I think if a woman goes so far as to cover her face, I would find that a little bit ridiculous. I mean, I would still say, I mean, if she wants to do that, whatever. What do I care? But I would find that a little bit ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to say. So covering your head with something, right?
Yes.
Covering your head like a hijab. Unless someone's imposing it on you or something like that, or is going to beat you or kill you or something like that, for not wearing it, I don't have a problem. It's a person's. If a person chooses, hey, here's how I want to dress, I have zero problem. when you get to like burqa and niqab, there it seems something dehumanizing, which you don't see by wearing a head covering or a guy wearing a head covering or something. There's some things dehumanizing about saying, no, we can't see the person's face or something like that. Face is that's like part of how you communicate and so on. So there is something weird about that I do have some kind of issue with. But if it's a woman and she says, this is how I want to dress, I'm not gonna tell her not to, but I am going to think that she's probably been like manipulated by some people into thinking that's the only way to be good or something.
You see, covering your face in public should be illegal, says Storm D. Charango Salvaye says, take Kind zusammen, warum sind Islamisten so dumm? Which means, good day, everybody. Why are Islamists so dumb? Well, there are many reasons, but one of those leads back to procreating with goats, I would say. Anyway, let's see.
Hijab is something beautiful, something to praise, something to appreciate.
According to Ridvan, his woman covering her hair and wearing hijab is not beautiful, not praiseworthy, and should not be appreciated. Why is it?
Look at this snake.
He's got you there.
He clipped me here.
They are
I can already tell the context here. Let's see.
never oppressed?
It is amazing to me that so many people in the West think that the hijab is something beautiful, something to praise, something to appreciate.
According
So this is what he clipped. I'm pretty sure that the context of that clip is specifically about how people in the West think that the hijab is something beautiful, something to appreciate, something to praise, while the hijab is actually an oppressive tool that is forced, and that women are forced to wear, if not by somebody, then by the commands of their own religion. That's it. It's never just about the hijab itself. I've never, ever made it about just the hijab itself. I really wonder which video that was that he
What about right before we were going live, you said the worst thing in the world is if a woman wears a hijab.
Man, you can't say that in public, man.
Oh, yeah. No.
So.
I can neither confirm nor deny that AP said that right before we started.
And Saif Talk will clip this in a minute. And here they
Look, here they're admitting it. David let it slip out. Like Deha Al-Kalbi let it slip out.
Oh man.
to Ridvan, his woman covering her hair and wearing hijab is not beautiful, not praiseworthy, and should not be appreciated. Why is it?
I mean, I honestly don't know if it's praiseworthy or if it's wait, what
Did
were
you
the
go
words?
around demanding
What
praise?
were the
for your
words? What were the words?
Wearing hijab is not beautiful, not praiseworthy, and should not be appreciated. Why?
Not beautiful, not praiseworthy, and should not be appreciated. Now, beautiful is a whole different thing. I'm not sure if I ever made a statement about the hijab itself being not beautiful. Any head covering can have different visual impacts that may or may not be beautiful. This has nothing
Let's go ahead and say it. Some Muslim women look really hot in a hijab, and that's kind of the issue. Like, it's like, oh, look how modest we are, and look how hot we are at the same time.
I cannot say anything about the hijab not looking beautiful or veils not looking beautiful. The point, however, in the clip that you clipped there was that the concept of the hijab, the entire system of the hijab, is not beautiful. But of course, Saif Talk is lying here, or maybe he's just dumb. I don't know. So he's taking me out of context.
It can be both. You can do both. Those aren't mutually exclusive.
That's true.
You can be dumb and lying.
He's a dumb liar. Okay.
In fact, dumb and lying is sort of a recipe for dawah.
But praiseworthy and appreciated. Now, I don't really care. Honestly, it's like if a woman herself wants to veil herself and then engage in worship, for example, I see humility in that, and I see something good in that. But to me, honestly, it doesn't matter if a woman does it or doesn't do it. It doesn't bother me. I'm concerned with myself. What I am concerned with is with a system forced on women, like it is in Islam. That's the entire point. Safe talk, you dummy.
Why is the advanced woman wearing hijab in the church? Well,
Because she wants to.
That's the big takeaway there, Saif.
Because she freaking wants to.
She wants to, and she chooses to do it.
Why is he forcing
because-
his wife to wear a hijab there?
Not because AP said to her, "Look, now that I am a Christian, I demand that you dress like this, or I will beat you and have you locked up."
I guess his thoughts here are that either I would make her wear the hijab, or I would be expected to force her to take it off. In reality, it's not a hijab. It's just a veil that predates the hijab by a long, long, long time. And my wife wears it for occasions of worship, for example. And I think that's cool. That's it.
Yeah, like my wife, she doesn't wear a head covering. She believes that her hair is her covering. If tomorrow she's going to church and says, you know what, I've rethought things, and now I'm going to wear something over my head, I would have zero problem with it.
If my wife went to church without putting a head cover on, nobody would kick her out.
You would beat her.
I wouldn't say anything
All
to
the
her.
men would gather around and start kicking her.
The priest wouldn't say anything to
The
her.
priest would beat her with a stick.
She could attend the Sunday service, the divine liturgy,
Yes, but they would set her on fire.
and she would go through with it,
She
And
would
then-
be through with it, yes.
receive
she
her
would be through.
blessings, receive her blessings from the priest, and then go home. That's it.
It's not pronounced, I know you're foreign, but it's pronounced beatings, not blessings.
Can you do the same thing as a woman in a mosque? Saif talk. That's the question.
simply because Paul in the Bible said so. But every woman who prays or prophesies with her hair uncovered dishonors her head. It is the same as having her hair shaved.
guy
Or
quoting
if a
Paul?
woman does not cover her hair, she might as well have her hair cut off. But if it is a disgrace for a woman to have her hair cut off or her head shaved, then she should cover her hair.
It is very funny. This is actually this goes back to Jewish practices in the time of Paul. But what were you just saying with Paul?
Oh, we're just talking about, is he quoting Paul affirmingly?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
He's supposed to condemn Paul, isn't he?
We hate the Apostle Paul. He corrupt everything. Oh, we can quote him.
This is actually very funny because until now we have still not talked about the one significant main difference, and yet he brings it right here and puts it right on the screen. What does it say? Every woman who prays or prophesies. That's what it says here. Not every woman. Not every woman who breathes. Not every woman who exists. Not every woman who leaves her house. Not every woman who goes outside. It just says every woman who prays or prophesies. Safe talk. Can you tell the difference? On one hand, you have women praying, right? Praying, and during prayer putting something on their heads. On the other hand, you have women covering themselves up fully at all times just because they exist. That's how they are supposed to exist. That is Islam. In Christianity, there was never an accepted mainstream idea that women are supposed to be covered from head to toe or else. Such a thing never. This is specifically about prayer. You're even quoting it right here and putting it on the screen. It's specifically about prayer. Prayer in public. This is about church practices. Dummy.
And then you ask how Islam ends up with this stuff, and it's
Muhammad, I saw your wife outside pooping. What's going on here? The whole town is watching your wife if she goes out and poops. Muhammad's like, oh, I'll tell her to cover up. Oh, I have to tell all women to cover up. Alhamdulillah, if you don't dress like this, then you're evil.
So not only is Is the veil in traditional Christianity preserved for simply church practices and for prayer and prophesying, as it says here? It is also, even then, even in those circumstances, never enforced. This is so different from Islam. It's incredibly insane to compare these two things. But they never get it. They never understand it.
This is Paul commanding Christian women to cover their heads. Subhanallah, he kept attacking Islam and Muslim women for their modesty for years, and now his woman is wearing hijab. Some Christians try to
No, if you see a photo of my wife just walking outside and not wearing anything on her head, I wonder what is gonna.
You
Why-
see, she is big hypocrite. Then
I-
they know he is beating her for this. When he sees her, he will beat her.
It looks like his wife already left Christianity. Why is she not wearing hijab?
You see, she saw AP convert to Christianity and how stupid he is being worshiping a man, so she leave it. She leave it.
Dumbass.
to claim, oh, this is only in the church or only while praying. Well,
That him?
the church fathers
Was that his?
disagree. And
Did he add that effect?
Yeah, that was a weird effect.
What's that? What's up with the like unwrapping paper every time he puts something on the screen?
I thought I was high just like him, but that's kind
I'm
of
just saying, it seemed like effects from like 2006 or something.
now his woman Islam and Muslim women for their modesty for years, and now his woman is wearing hijab. Some Christians try to claim, oh, this is only in the church or only while praying. Well,
Aha! Busted. That is what you say.
Notice how he says some Christians claim. Some Christians? Some Christians? That's what some Christians say? Really? But it's very good. This man is very intelligent. He could already predict our response, you see.
church fathers disagree. And Ridwan, since you want to be baptized as an Orthodox Christian, John Chrysostom should be an authority for you. And he said in his homilies on 1 Corinthians, well then, the man he compelled not to be always uncovered, but when he prays only, for every man, said he, praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head, but the woman he commands to be at all times covered. According to St.
Oh, that's interesting. So, according to Saint Chris, first off, this is a huge misrepresentation. What he's talking about here, since he wants to be baptized in the Orthodox Church, that means the Church Fathers are an authority, and when they say something, our boasted prophet must follow all of the things that they say at all times. This is not Orthodox Christianity. This is not Christianity. This is not Christianity, man. This is not Islam. This is not how it works. This is not how Christianity functions, bro. But interesting stuff. Let's see. For there were, as I said, both men who prophesied and women who had his gift at the time, as the daughters of Philip, as others before them and after them, concerning whom also the prophets spake of old, your sons shall prophesy, and your daughters shall see vision. Well then, the men he compelleth not to be always uncovered, but when he prays only. For every man saith he praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But the woman he commands to be at all times covered. Wherefore also having said, every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. He stayed not at this point only, but also proceeded to say, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. But if to be shaven is always dishonorable, it is plain too that being uncovered is always a reproach. Well, here you go, Saif Talk. I disagree with I would like to understand further what St. John Chrysostom's words are here and to consult different people on this, but I'm going to say it right here. I disagree. Oh no! Why is a boasted prophet here rejecting Orthodox Christianity? Why is he leaving Islam? Why is he leaving Orthodox Christianity? Look, he left it right here on screen. You can see it right here. I disagree. What now?
Does he think you're bound by
What now,
what
man? I
someone,
disagree.
what someone centuries later says?
You have homilies of church fathers that disagree with each other and contradict with each other on different things. You can't agree with both of them at the same time. You have different preachers, different bishops commenting on things or interpreting the Bible and contradicting with each other on different things. You can't agree with all of them at the same time. This is not Islam, bro. This is not the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And we have to say he wouldn't even accept this standard in Islam, period. Right? Like if I said, hey, this later Muslim commentator from centuries after, he says this and you disagree with it, what do you do now? And you don't think the actual sources say that. What do you do? I have to do it because who am I to reject what the commentator has said? Saif, you actually can't function like that, because your scholars and commentators contradict each other over and over again on their interpretations. You can read a verse of the Quran and go to the commentaries and find 10 or 15 different interpretations of what it means. So you can't just say, oh, a commentator said it or a Muslim scholar said it. You can't do it. You have to say, okay, who is correctly addressing what the text says? And if someone isn't correctly addressing what the text says, you wouldn't think that you have to follow what he says.
Yeah, this is not how it works, Saif Talk. I'm not sure why you are getting to this weird conclusion, but as said, I don't agree with that at all. There you go. What now?
Now what?
Now what, man? Ha ha!
But the woman he commands to be at all times covered. According to St. John Chrysostom, Christian women should be covered at all times and not just during prayer and worship. This is what happens when your morality is subjective. You will always fall into contradictions and hypocrisy, since your morality is not objective and don't come from a source.
This is cool. I would assume that his morality is objective, so he thinks it is always okay for him to marry a 6-year-old girl and have sex with her when she's 9 years old, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Source that has the right to dictate morality. Your St. John Chrysostom agrees with Muslim women more than Christian women of today when it comes to modesty, because you lost your values and morality to liberal values. And since we are speaking about
Do you really want to go down that road, man? Do you really want to look at how church fathers and how they view different things, such as different things like slavery, such as different things like going to war and pretty much exploiting different populations for religion, going and looting different people and populations for the sake of taking their women and children as slaves and having sex with them? Do you really want to go to morality and how church fathers would look at those things? Seriously, man? Do you really want to play this game?
about hijab and the veil. Let me refute this doubt shubha that Arab women in the past didn't cover their faces. This is a shubha many liberal Muslims try to bring. So according to
Shubha is a doubt. Not sure why he's going into this now.
Tertullian, who was a 2nd century church father, in his treatise titled
Oh, here. This is actually what you just talked about. Tertullian on veiling of virgins.
On the Veiling of Virgins, he said, Arabia's heathen females will be your judges, who cover not only the head, but the face also, so entirely that they are content with one eye free, to enjoy rather half the light than to prostitute the entire face. A female would rather see than be seen. Look at this.
There you go, David. This is what Tertullian said.
Yeah, he's talking about the pagan women of Arabia,
You see?
which became Islam for some reason.
Tertullian in the 2nd century is comparing Arab women with Christian women and highlighting the greater modesty of Arab women. And this
Pagan women, pagan Arab women,
Pagan Arab women.
whom your religion copied,
And whom your religion also insults thoroughly and calls ignorant and disgusting.
So
yes.
all
Hey, AP.
What?
AP. Do most Muslim women wear a full covering and only allow one eye?
No.
Okay, so according to Saif, most Muslim women are less modest than pagan Arab women were, right? So the result of Islam has been to make women less modest, right? So according to him, the pagan women of Arabia, they were more modest, and their modesty was greater than that of Christian women. Okay. But most Muslim women don't dress like that. And therefore, according to Saif himself, most Muslim women are less modest. They dress less modestly than pagan Arab women. And therefore, the net impact of Islam has been to decrease women's modesty. And that's indisputable based on what he just said, right?
I'm also not sure why he is citing Tertullian here. What is he kind of what kind of point is he?
He went to some lame like website that brings all this stuff together to say,
You see, they don't know what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah.
when
They don't know what they're talking about when they condemn us for killing and beating these women who refuse to dress in a certain way. So let me show you.
and
Tertullian
they never
wouldn't have remotely the authority or the weight or anything that any of the saints and church fathers and Saint Chrysostom, for example, have. So this is very weird.
Liberal Muslims who are trying to confuse and misguide people by claiming that Arab women never covered their faces. This is a 2nd century testimony confirming the niqab, the face covering of Arab women, way before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And now let's move on to the
Yeah. So Arab women were so Arabia was always a little bit messed up. Got it. Okay.
age of the mother of the believers, Aisha radiallahu anha, when she got married to the
Oh, now we come to the spicy part. Pedophilia.
Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
It's a bit disturbing in today's world to believe in a religion that was formed by a man who married a 6-year-old girl when he was at the age of 50.
Look at this.
So people who still want to keep believing in this religion
background,
also
though.
find that fact disturbing, start to look for
Disturbing.
some high quality
other
videos here, man.
Huh?
Some high quality videos. What do you have, like a giant sheet of paper behind you?
I had, this was the very beginnings of when I started making videos. It was I had a pure blank white backdrop behind me. That's it.
excuses, for other explanations, for reinterpretations.
After becoming an Orthodox Christian, you can't use this argument against Islam anymore because
Wait, so
I'm interested now. Wait, now you have to accept pedophilia? You converted to Christianity, now you have to accept pedophilia? I'm dying to hear this one.
okay, well, I'm very, very excited. I'm laughing right now because his idea is that after becoming an Orthodox Christian, one can no longer criticize Islam for pedophilia. This is of course laughable, but I'm really curious to hear his point.
now you'll be judged by your Bible, your church fathers, and saints. According to the
Sense. You mean saints? Yeah. Okay.
Proto-Evangelium of James,
Why is he?
Wait, is he what? He's quoting what?
Okay. Why are you quoting the Proto-Evangelium of James?
Yeah, and yeah, let's go to it.
Let's look at this.
when she was 12 years old, there took place a council of the priests saying, Behold, Mary has become 12 years old in the temple of the Lord. What then shall we do with her, lest she defile the temple of the Lord God? According to this, Mary was 12
Okay, let's see. This is very funny. When she was 12 years old, there took place a council of the priests saying, Behold, Mary has become 12 years old in the temple of the Lord. Now, he's of course doing this thing again, where he is comparing this to Muhammad in his 50s, marrying a 6-year-old girl, and then finally taking her to bed and having sex with her when she's 9 years old. He's comparing this to Mary being brought to the temple when she's 12 years old. That's it. That's what he's comparing, David. According to the apocryphal texts. David, what do you say about this?
This is insanely stupid on multiple levels. But yeah, let's hear him out, and then we can explain how stupid. One, dude, you just went to the. Going to this book is stupid on multiple levels. But yeah, let's hear what he's got to say.
Okay.
12 years old in the temple of the Lord. What then shall we do with her, lest she defile the temple of the Lord God? According to this, Mary was 12 years old when she reached puberty. And this is why they wanted her outside of the temple, because she was unclean according to their law. Leviticus 12 verse 2, say to the Israelites, a woman who becomes pregnant and gives birth to a son will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days, just as she is unclean during her monthly period. Leviticus 2 verse 4, she must not touch anything sacred or go to the sanctuary until the days of her purification are over.
What the heck is he babbling about, man?
Mary had to leave the temple since she reached the age of maturity, and it was no longer appropriate for her to stay in the temple. According to the Talmud, neither for
Oh my God.
What I don't even know where he's going. I thought he was gonna like respond to you having an objection to marrying prepubescent girls or something. I have absolutely no clue where it sounds like he's just saying stuff because his followers are too stupid to realize he's just like saying random stuff. I don't know though. We didn't let him finish. Maybe he's about to do something brilliant here.
Muslims who are watching, can you at this point tell me in fact, can you tell yourselves what the point so far is that Saif Talk is making? I have no objection to marrying little children. And he says, well, according to the Proto-Evangelium, which is an apocryphal text, Mary was brought to the temple at 12 years old because she was no longer a child and she was now mature. And then he brings up the other texts, which say that a woman, once she starts menstruating, or a girl, once she starts menstruating, is no longer deemed ritually pure. That's it.
I'm saying, what does this have to do with Islam allowing sex with prepubescent girls? I have zero clue.
What does it have to do with anything?
no longer appropriate for her to stay in the temple. According to the Talmud, Nida 45b, with regard to a girl who is 11 years old and 1 day old, her vows are examined to ascertain whether she is aware of the meaning of her vow and in whose name she vows. When she is 12 years old and 1 day old.
So what's the freaking point, man?
And has grown 2 pubic hairs, which is a sign of adulthood. Even without examination, her vows are in effect. According to this, a Jewish woman reaches adulthood at the age of 12. So, Mr. Christian, do you agree or not? And this is the same age the Proto-Evangelium of James claims Mary was when she was removed from the temple and betrothed to Joseph. According to the English explanation of the by
we need to check out the Proto-Evangelium of James and see what it's actually saying, because it does not help him. and if he's actually read, even if he's read this section that he's trying to quote, he's exposed as a liar.
Yeah.
Joshua Kolb. In interpreting this verse, the rabbis limited this right to when she is a minor, meaning before she both achieves puberty and reaches the age of 12 years. That is to say, one who has reached puberty but is not yet 12, or he's 12 but has not reached puberty is...
I find it so funny that
that he's quoting the Talmud to you.
No, but even more importantly, so first off, he is quoting the Talmud to me. Secondly, he's quoting a part of the Talmud, an explanation to the Talmud. Like I could understand him quoting the first part that he just quoted, which is the Mishnah, because it would be pretty much Talmudic writings that date back to the very same times where Christianity is coming into existence, or rising. But here he's quoting an interpretation that is long after, which would have nothing to do with me at all. But then the funny thing to me is, and I'm actually going to point out one thing here. He's quoting this, but he's not even addressing some of the most messed up things that are actually that this part here is actually about, which is about selling your daughter into slavery. So I'm going to assume that that Saif Talk here is actually a very, very reasonable and intelligent person who sat down and understood. Okay, these were times where this is talking about a completely different society thousands of years ago, where different contracts were made. Therefore, I should not use this to attack morality, the morality of the Bible, or the morality of Judaism, or whatever it is. I assume so. That's why he, I guess, never addressed that aspect of what he's quoting here. But it's quite interesting to me.
Still considered a minor. So according to Jewish tradition, a girl becomes a woman when she reaches both puberty and 12 years old.
Okay.
According to the
Yeah.
Jewish
So we can grant that all day. What in the name of common sense does that have to do with Muhammad having sex with a 9-year-old and with the Quran allowing sex with girls of any age?
No, he's
5,
once
6,
again-
5, 6. Check with your boy Daniel Hakikachu. Check with Muhammad Hijab. We've got Muhammad Hijab on video saying the Quran allows sex with prepubescent girls. You cannot get around that. That's hijab.
He's once again.
That's 14 centuries of your Muslim commentator saying puberty is not a requirement. And then he goes, see, it says right here, this is when they're going to become the woman.
He's once again going to Jewish law here, and in fact doing something really, 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 really stupid.
Very stupid.
Let's let him read this and then look at it one more time.
The minimum age for marriage under Jewish law is 13 for boys, 12 for women. So if you have a
Well,
So-
what?
All of this talk, this entire presentation here, was completely meaningless nonsense, right? He talked about me saying that it's really messed up that in Islam a man marries a little child and has sex with her when she's 9 years old. He then says that I cannot object to this anymore as an Orthodox Christian, because in Orthodox Christianity, according to the apocryphal text, Mary was presented to the temple at the age of 12. And the Bible says that at the age of that when a woman menstruates, she becomes ritually impure. And then he starts quoting the Talmud, which basically just explains and reaffirms the same thing. Then he finally comes to this page, and until here, he never ever actually makes a point, because he never ever talks about anybody getting married and having sex as a little child. So all of this is all for nothing. But then I could simply dismiss this and ignore this. But look what he does here. He looks at a source, a final source for Jewish law, which is something that doesn't concern me at all, right? The minimum age for marriage under Jewish law is 13 for boys, 12 for girls. This is what he reads, and then he turns the page off. However, look at how it continues. However, the Kiddushin can take place before that, and often did in medieval times. The Talmud recommends that a man marry at age 18 or somewhere between 16 and 24. That's it. That's what it says. That's what it says. Now, what does any of this have to do with me not being allowed or able to complain about child marriage in Islam as an Orthodox Christian? How stupid is this, man? This is Muslim logic.
Absolutely insanely stupid. We say, hey, quit having sex with little girls. Leave the little girls alone. But here is what I can't even do it, man. This is the problem. Who are this guy's fans?
Muslims.
100 and I guarantee you, this guy's fans, they are 100 generations deep in first cousin marriage. And they do not understand anything. And they just hear the way he's talking. So we say, hey, what's up with pedophilia and child marriage and so on? He's like, but look at this. This is in Judaism and Christianity. You marry the women after they become adults.
Okay. Here. So Daniel gave a long speech here, and he included something at the very end. And I want to ask him about that because he seems to be very sure, and he seems to be presenting to the audience this idea that I misrepresented him. Daniel, do you accept for me to play a brief video of you saying that it's okay for men to marry little children?
People know the clip.
Are you okay with
Yeah.
it or not?
We can play it, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll play the video now. Since you said that I misrepresented you, I will share the sound of it. This is garbage. I misrepresented you.
When there are signs of physical maturity, it becomes permissible for the husband in Islamic law to have marital relationships or consummate the relation with his bride. And this is the example of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Do you know what precocious puberty is?
Starting puberty unusually early. Like,
Is there anything in Islam that prevents you from, a man marrying a 5-year-old that started precocious puberty?
you can arrange a marriage even as an infant, but that doesn't mean that sex is allowed.
Could a man have a marriage to a 5-year-old consummated if she started precocious puberty?
If she starts showing signs of physical maturity, then yes, that's permissible, as I
What
said.
about age
principle.
4?
If there are signs
3.
of, so this is something that becomes biologically impossible because
I have a
puberty,
study
there are
that shows
no,
it goes as early as 11 months.
well, that's something that the parents would not, see, the thing about Islamic marriage is that parents are involved at these ages. And when you look at the marriage.
There you have it. There you have it. So, on the one hand, we're talking about a religion whose main prophet, who is considered a moral guide, a perfect moral guide for all humankind for all times, is at the age of 50 and marries a 6-year-old girl, and then has sex with her when she's 9 years old. A 50-year-old disgusting, sick creep who should have been honestly, brutally stopped by other people so that he could have, so that they could have prevented everything that happened for the next 1,400 years. Rapes a little girl, rapes a 9-year-old girl, marries a 6-year-old girl, rapes her when she's 9, already rapes her in different ways before she's 9, and then you have Muslims going around because of this example, because of this sick, pedophile, pervert, rapist prophet, because of his example, going around and arguing that it's actually okay to have sex with little girls as soon as they show any sign of maturity. This is what we complain about. And Scythe Talk somehow wants to compare this to people being allowed to, or people being counted as mature at the age of 12, and then getting betrothed, meaning promised for marriage. That's it. This is Muslim logic. You follow a sick rapist pedophile. You follow a sick rapist pedophile. You defend sick rape and pedophilia, and then you don't even have the brains and the logic to properly attack those who point out that you guys defend rape and pedophilia. You people are disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. I kind of want to finish this clip here because I think this is funny. When I confront Daniel Kikuchu.
All right, so can I respond to your misrepresentation?
Presented you, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I gave you a chance to condemn the rape of a 3-year-old and killing the 3-year-old after. You didn't have a condemnation for that. So your moral compass is not really a standard here. So
I
if you have yeah, you did because you said that I support pedophilia. I support marriage, like every other religion, like every other culture within history.
I say you support pedophilia because you support an adult marrying and having sex with a 3-year-old girl. He says, no, I don't support pedophilia. I support marriage. So I misrepresented him. The Muslim here, the Muslim in question, he doesn't support just randomly having sex with 3-year-old girls. He only supports marrying and then having sex with 3-year-old girls. This is what Islam does to people. This is what Islam does to people. This is Islam, bro. This is Islam. You sickos. You perverts. You perverts.
You have a problem with the marriage of Aisha radiallahu anha to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam
If he
at
doesn't
the
girl.
age of 6 and consummated their marriage at the age of 9, then you should have a problem with the mother of your God and how your God got his 12 years old mother pregnant. Why couldn't your
What? Hey, seriously, we should go to the Proto-Evangelium of James and just read one little part of what it actually says about Joseph, because it like destroys.
You know what?
Yeah,
I wonder if IP is available right now.
What?
If IP is available and if he wants to join us.
I think he's traveling now.
Is he?
Why? What do you want him for? To give us statistics?
No, he would love this topic. That's why.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you might want to revisit or just have him comment on this stuff, because this dude's all over the place with complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IP.
Yeah. IP is the one who points out that they actually like have done the studies on when women were first married, their age at first marriage back then. It's in the 18 to 20 range.
Mm-hmm.
18 to 20 range. The bare minimum for even thinking about it would be after 12. She had to be 12. Before that, they called them little girls. Somehow, our good friend Saif here is using all of this to defend a 54-year-old man penetrating a prepubescent 9-year-old girl.
And then he goes on and fails to actually deliver any point, fails to deliver any evidence of anyone's age in the Bible, fails to deliver any evidence of anything. He cites an apocryphal text and he says, and here you can see that apostate prophet is a hypocrite because Mary was pregnant when she was 12 years old. Where's the proof, man? Once you bring the proof for that, we can talk about it. First off, where's the proof? We can talk about it all day long once you bring the proof, but where is the proof? Where is the proof? Saif, where is it? He waffled for 5 minutes or so, 3 minutes, and couldn't even present any proof for anything. This is what he does. This is what Muslims do. You said you want to look at the Proto-Evangelium of James?
Yeah, you want me to send it to you? You want to send you a link to it, or you want to look it up?
No, I can look it up. But what do you want? What passage specifically want you to do?
It's like 8 or 9 or something like this. It's broken up into sections.
Is it the one on New Advent?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Bigly. Okay, here.
Okay. So check this. Right before this, they're basically saying, hey, it's Mary's going to be dedicated. So Mary's going to be dedicated to God and so on. And then she is 12 and they say, hey, we've got a problem here. She's getting older and so on. Now go down to 9. So they decide to cast lots. They want someone who's going to take care of her. Right? They want someone who's going to take care of her. And they're looking for basically some old man to take care of her. So he won't be interested in sex because she's going to remain a perpetual virgin. And so they have to cast lots, right? And check this out. So you have section 9 here. And Joseph throwing away his axe. So they're about to cast lots, and the lot is Joseph's going to be chosen. And Joseph, throwing away his axe, went out to meet them. And when they had assembled, they went away to the high priest, taking with them their rods. These are for casting the lots. And he, taking the rods of all of them, entered into the temple and prayed. And having ended his prayer, he took the rods and came out and gave them to them. But there was no sign in them. And Joseph took his rod last. And behold, a dove came out of the rod and flew upon Joseph's head. And the priest said to Joseph, you have been chosen by lot to take into your keeping the virgin of the Lord. You're supposed to keep her. But Joseph refused. What? Why did he refuse? But Joseph refused, saying, I have children, and I am an old man, and she is a young girl. I am afraid lest I become a laughing stock to the sons of Israel. And then the high priest tells him, "Yeah, you got to do it anyway." Saif, what is it? What is this saying? This is what you're quoting. This is what you're quoting. Guess what? I couldn't conceivably care less what the Proto-Evangelium of James says. I don't believe in this as a source. In fact, we know we. Okay, let me. I don't even want to explain it now. This is not an authoritative source for us. This is a late fabricated source. We are not interested in this. We do not. I don't even know what to do here. Okay, let me put it this. We would consider this an extremely weak hadith in your language, right? And you'd be, okay, so that's what it's like with you quoting. But since you quoted it, you're quoting this. What does Joseph, first, Joseph is not assigned to have sex with her. He's assigned to keep her as a virgin. That's what he's there for. They want to keep Mary as a perpetual virgin. No one's ever having sex with her. But then when they say, hey, we need someone who's going to basically keep her and watch over her this time, let's find an old man who's not interested in sex anymore. That way there won't be any temptation there, and he could just keep the virgin, and then there won't be any suspicions or anything like that. And when they tell Joseph, you're going to marry her, he says, wait a minute, I'm an old man, and she's a young girl. I will become a laughing stock in Israel. What does that mean, Saif? That means if they see some old man marrying some young girl, they think, look at this pervert. Look at this sicko. Look at this lunatic. What kind of old man is going to marry some young girl when he's an old man and he's just going to die soon, and then he's going to leave her as a widow when she's a young girl? What is this? What kind of lunatic is this? They're going to laugh at him. What did your prophet do, Saif? When he was an old man, old enough to be Aisha's grandfather or great-grandfather, he had sex with a prepubescent 9-year-old girl. And not only did he die when she was 18, he commanded his followers that no one is allowed to marry his wives after him, thus leaving her as a perpetual widow. She can never have children. She can never have another family. She can never have sex with a man who isn't some creepy, old, smelly dude, even though she obviously did. I think Aisha was getting busy with a lot of guys. There were lots of accusations going around, and they were. And by the way, if anyone wants to know the connection here, so Aisha stays behind the army for a little while, and then she emerges. She emerges with some young hot guy, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're looking for my bracelet." And then, of course, she gets accused of adultery, and she's worried about getting stoned to death. So she's worried about being stoned, because that's what they would do if they think that she's committed adultery. But then Muhammad receives the revelation saying, oh, if they're going to accuse her of adultery, where are their four male witnesses? In other words, Aisha is innocent. We don't have 4 witnesses who saw her getting banged by this dude, and therefore she's good to go. She's as clean, she's as pure as the driven snow. And by the way, then later on, when Muhammad dies, the verse of stoning was in the Quran. The verse of stoning adulteresses and the verse of breastfeeding adults was in the Quran at that time. Aisha had the only copy. Muhammad dies. What does Aisha remove and blame on her goat or her sheep for eating out of the Quran? Verse of stoning an adulteress, which she was that close to being on the receiving end of that punishment. She was that close to being stoned. Muhammad dies, and suddenly the verse about women breastfeeding grown adult men and the verse of stoning an adulteress mysteriously get eaten from the Quran. Oopsie.
There's a very there are two very important details to add here, which are the very text that he's quoting here, the Proto-Evangelium of James, once again, is not an authoritative text. It is not part of any canon. It is considered apocryphal. It is a later record. Some
AP. Quick question: how many of Saif's viewers know that when he's quoting this, he's quoting something that I've never met someone who believes in this as authentic, as an authentic source?
Probably 2 out of 100.
I would say 0 out of 100. But go ahead. I would say not one of his followers has any clue what he's quoting. I guarantee you, 100% of his followers think he's quoting the Bible right here.
So he's quoting a text which is an apocryphal record about Mary, about the family of Jesus. According to the text here in question, what is happening here is not that Mary is now at an age where she is ready to get married and to have children, and she is now to have married and to have children. What is happening here is, as David just mentioned, she is to be kept as a virgin. She is kept as a virgin. Her parents, according to this tradition, right, which also very much influenced lots of early Christian societies and communities. According to this tradition, Mary was considered given by her parents to the temple as a virgin to serve the temple for her life, while she was still a child, until she reaches the age of menstruation. She stays at the temple where she purely serves. Once she can no longer stay at the temple, somebody takes guardianship of her. In this case, Joseph, who is not going to have sexual relations with her, takes guardianship of her to keep her and no longer let her stay at the temple. She is, however, still to be kept a virgin. So she is still a virgin, or a temple virgin, where she's supposed to serve the temple for the rest of her life. That's it. She's supposed to serve the temple. She's not supposed to have sexual interactions.
And you could see, because as the story unfolds, when she eventually gets pregnant, everyone loses their minds and flips out, and they're accusing her of being of doing something.
Exactly. In fact, you have what is that? Luke 1:34, which is a well-known passage, which says the following. Luke 1:34-35. How will this be? Mary asked the angel, since I am a virgin. The angel answered, the Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God. This is it. She's not supposed to give birth or anything. She's supposed to be a virgin. That is her state. That is what this is all about. So Saif Talk is quoting something completely ridiculously nonsensical that has nothing to do with the topic at all.
Yes,
because he doesn't get it and his audience doesn't get it.
Yeah, and the hilarious part here is, hey, we've got an issue here. We've got a girl who's going to be dedicated to God all her life and needs to remain a virgin. What are we going to do about this? We need to have her marry a guy who's not interested in sex so he can be her guardian and so on. And the response of Joseph is, what are you talking about, man? People are going to laugh at me. They're going to make fun of me. I will be humiliated as an old man being married to a girl. And he's talking about to a 12-year-old. Saif is sitting here, you see, this is fine. There's nothing wrong. He said, what are you talking about? Everyone's going to make fun of me. What's that mean? It means it was culturally unacceptable among the Jews for an old man to have sex with a pubescent yet young girl. Keep in mind, we're not even talking about a prepubescent girl.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Joseph's reaction to this? Yeah, marry this little girl. She's 5.
Oh,
do it. Do it. Do it.
Another thing to add, one detail people often don't talk about is when we talk about Muhammad having sex with Aisha, we're not just talking about a man who is looking for a woman and this is just a necessity of the time. We're talking about a 50-year-old man who already has a wife and who just for no reason at all marries a little child and has sex with her for the rest of his life until he dies, and the girl is then alone for the rest of her life. That's what Islam is.
Mm-hmm. Muhammad's a mercy to all mankind, especially to Aisha, left her as a perpetual widow. Yeah, so Saif,
almost a mercy to his own sexual desires. That's what he is.
Saif, let me break this down for you. There is no source that we would regard as a trustworthy source giving Mary's age as 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 or whatever when it comes to when she miraculously conceived. We don't have one. So you can't say, "Oh, but she was 12." You can't say it. Show us a source that we would regard as trustworthy. When we say Aisha was 9, what are we just making this up? Are we quoting some source you regard as unreliable? Are we quoting some late source that you regard as unreliable and don't believe? No, we're quoting dozens of your most trusted sources on the life of Muhammad. If you don't see the difference, you're just stupid, man. You're just insanely stupid if you cannot see the difference between one, us having no reliable source on the age of Mary, except knowing that she would not have been allowed to marry before puberty. That's it. Other than that, she could have been 20. We don't know. We don't have a reliable source. So you're saying the Bible doesn't say, and we don't have a reliable source that says, and you're comparing that to Muhammad having sex with a prepubescent girl, and we have dozens of sources on her age, and she was 9. And you're quoting all these sources. But it says that once a girl has turned 12 and has got pubic hair, then she what? Therefore, again, we know the average first age of marriage back then was in the 18 to 20 range. People didn't just pounce. People didn't, now we can bang these little girls. No, they didn't do that, man. What are we doing, man? Why do we have to keep trying to explain this basic stuff to these dudes?
Tis very funny.
So wait, hang on. So AP, the entire point there is you're a hypocrite because you condemned Islam for allowing sex with prepubescent girls, and you condemned Muhammad for being a creepy old dude who had sex with a prepubescent little girl. After you've heard this powerful case by Saif, can you spot your own hypocrisy?
Yes.
Do you see where you've been a hypocrite?
Yes.
Good.
Brad Smith says this is hypocrisy. AP is against Allah for sending people to hell. Really? I'm not entirely sure if I'm against Allah because of sending people to hell. I'm not entirely sure about that. It's probably about the choices and how and who and all that. But I don't think it's generally. I don't think I reject Islam because Allah sent people hell or something like that. But Yahweh, who is Yahweh, also sends people to hell. Thank you, first off, for misspelling the name of the God of the Bible. Secondly, I'm not entirely sure what this entire argument or counter argument here is supposed to be. But I would also I would recommend that you just sit down and inform yourself on this matter. Because first off, when you come with the name of God, you are generalizing God and him sending people to hell. You would have to sit down and actually think about or learn what the different people think and learn what the people who believe in the God of the Bible actually believe regarding hell or the afterlife. In Jewish thought, for example, there is never the idea that God sends people to an eternal hell. There's rather that God sends people to a place of purification or temporary punishment before everyone is reconciled in a world to come, or some people are annihilated or something like that. There are different perspectives. In Christian thought, there is never a blanket belief that, yes, we believe God sends all people to hell and they will be eternally tortured there. You're comparing two completely different things. In Orthodox Christianity, for example, there is the very early on developed idea, which is understood from the Bible, which is that God does not literally send people to a place where they are tortured forever or anything like that. It is much deeper than that. But you're comparing this to the Islamic concept of Allah sending people to hell, which seriously, you should sit down and analyze that a little bit. Open the Quran, look at where the Quran talks about what Allah does to the disbelievers. Allah sends the disbelievers to a hellfire where He eternally tortures them and tortures them and tortures them and revives them and tortures them again and inflicts immeasurable pain on them the entire time. It's very graphic, very brutal. It is never quite described like that in the Bible. I have always had my problems with the idea of a punishment in the afterlife. I still do. But comparing the Islamic hellfire to the biblical afterlife or the biblical hell or the Jewish and Christian hell is a little bit ridiculous. Please don't be dumb. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. All right, man. Why is this muted, man? Why is this muted? Stop being an amateur. La 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 la. Actually, let me take this opportunity and let me take a few super chats here. Let me take super chat. Annabelle says, check out Mansour Ashkar, Israeli Druze, now living in Germany. I have actually got in touch with him. I know of him. We talked when I was in Germany a month ago or so. I communicated with him a little bit. I got his number and was going to get in touch with him, but he was not available. We're actually going to meet up and do something together in the near future. But thank you. Joe of the Masks. My German side is disappointed in your lateness, but I still love you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nebula Knight. Alhamdulillah, late vid wood is late. You see, this is the proof, but great timing. I just got off work. Good. Rami Hader made a super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Although StreamYard doesn't give me the ability to see it. Oh, no, it actually says GLHF. Good. Yes, man says Dolor Sid Ahmed Consecutor David, what does it say?
Don't know.
How do you not know, man?
I took one or two. Yeah, I don't know.
How do you not know? What's wrong with you, man?
I don't know, man.
This is ridiculous, man. How would you not know such a thing?
Why don't you cut and paste it into Google Translate?
How do you not know what this means? Like, this is just so ridiculous. Is this part of the random thing that you type to get an example of what a font looks like? Pain is love, consecutor, something. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Thank you for that. Thank you for wasting our time. Amit Yanuka, Palestine is apartheid Arab colony. It is indeed. Prince Lapi says, my brother says hello and God bless. God bless and hello to your brother as well. Finished says, hi AP and Dawood. Greetings from Finland. Finished. Congrats to AP for your journey to becoming a Christian. Although you've been like a brother to us for a long time now. God bless you all. Thank you.
That'd be a funny video. We should go to Finland and walk down the street playing the Muhammad Hijab clip. You're finished.
I already made this.
Just pointing at people. What?
I already made this joke like a year ago. I said, what does Muhammad Hijab say when he goes to Finland? I said, you finished. Well,
that's not the same thing as us making a funny video out of it.
That's true. We should do
You're finished.
Ida Rogozin said, this is priceless. What's up, Ida? Ida is based. Human Kirk, AP, congratulations on your recent spiritual growth, for the courage to share it openly, and for the patience to endure everyone's opinion about it. Thank you. Appreciate it. It is kind of weird how everyone has an opinion on it, which is kind of why I want to keep certain aspects of it private and actually give so far very delayed news about things most of the time because people have a lot to say. People have a lot to say. No, don't go in this direction. Go in this direction. No, over here. No, over there. No, do this and do that. No, this is wrong. Isaiah Wagner, écoutez, soyez une lumière pour le monde. On ne peut pas une lampe sur les panniers. Matthew 5. Thank you. Appreciate that. Mr. Gato, fun fact, Mo was deeply in love with white seamen. John the Presbyter, I've seen more life behind the northern pike's eyes. Powerful. Viati Visto said, Saif Talk merely speaks the same way as Mossad Hassan Youssef. Lol, LOL, Z. No, he speaks much better than Mossad Hassan Youssef. Bubili, Ali Dawa and Hamza are scamming the Ummah for money. Hey, what was it with Ali Dawa, man? I saw a video of him doing like doing some workout or something. What was that?
I didn't watch it, but Giant DOC posted the picture of like the thumbnail or something like that, and he was saying like $3,000 for or 3,000 pounds for 100 push-ups. They call it, I guess, do they call them press-ups over there? It said for 100 press-ups. I guess they mean push-ups, and that's just what they call them over there.
I don't know.
But yeah, $3,000, guys. Anyone want to toss me $3,000 for 100 push-ups? I will be the richest man in the world.
I saw a thumbnail for that, but now I can't see it on his channel. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It didn't stay. It seems like he was doing it. He was doing it and then took it down afterwards.
Maybe nobody did anything, so he just took it down. I don't know.
Or maybe he got shamed and he took it down.
Wait, he's always live right now. Look how many people are watching him live. 56 people watching.
Wow, 56.
Man,
56. He's moving up. Hey, Ali Dawa, maybe you'll eventually get to 60.
But what I really want is 72, like my virgins in paradise, yeah?
I don't understand. How does he have 1.28 million
And no one
subscribers
watches him live?
and no one is
Seriously?
watching his live stream? What is this?
Yeah, because he still gets people
The
watch his,
basics was
what does he get on videos now? People still watch his videos, I know.
It's been live for 3 hours and like 50 people are watching.
3 hours and 56 people?
What the heck? This is weird, man. Huh. Weird. Anyway.
Years.
Ali Da'wa and Hamza are scamming the Ummah for money. Misha says, by the power of Ezra, I shall watch the F1 at 4:30 a.m. Saif needs his Gauka for he has been corrupted. Ezra is greater than 3, you see. Saif found your catechism in the book of Nicaea, AP. Hail Ezra. Thank you. Joseph, AP, have you heard of the Turkish saints? Good option for patrons. Saint Ahmed and Saint Abu. Also Saint John of Damascus, one of the first Islam critics. I have heard of Saint Ahmed. I haven't really looked at him. Somebody else brought up a different saint, Saint Constantine the Hagorite or something, who was an ex-Muslim Turkish dude and who was executed for his conversion to Christianity. Of course, I know of Saint John of Damascus. I got his book. But yeah, powerful. Alex M, please pray for me. I have an article on Coptic Lent due in 7 days for my university's campus ministry magazine, and I have severe writer's block. Very stressed despite being used to writing. I have a very cool recommendation. Take some time off and do something else. Don't think about it. I don't know, just go for a walk, do some other stuff, and then get back to it. And then you'll finish it. You see? Beerus says they are ninjas. Powerful. Finally, Vyati Vista, there is difference between a head covering and being made to be covered head to toe in a black sack. This is true. Finally, I already read this. And finally, Gryphon Nystrom said, it's funny that these guys will only ever attack your original videos while taking it out of context, but never bother responding to your stream clarifications. This is very, very true. They never respond to clarifications. But finally, before we continue to the video, John the Presbyter said burqa is beekeeper chic. It is indeed. But finally, before we continue to the video, VFR Adam says, I'm so happy for you, AP. God bless you. Saif is Moroccan. He's a Maliki. I'm a Christian Moroccan, and I tell you that man Saif is an abomination. He looks like an abomination. All right, let's get to
But
the
he has good goat beard.
Till his mother become 18 and then give birth to himself. I leave the answer to this question to you on
What's
all
he
questions
babbling
watched
about?
this video. It's 6 more years till his mother pregnant. Why and how your God got his 12 years old mother pregnant. Why didn't you-
Wait. Did he establish that Mary became pregnant at 12?
No, and we already said that he didn't establish that. He's just making it up.
Hey, Saif. Is it okay in your religion to make stuff up about Mary?
Yes.
Just because I'm saying I've never seen. You can include atheists, devil worshippers. Anyway, I've never seen anyone lie about and as freely make up things about prophets and other figures in the Bible as Muslims. Dawa guys. Never. I've never seen anything like it. Not from devil worshippers do I see this. You guys just anytime anything your prophet is criticized for anything, you instantly just make something up about someone and then act like you've proven it.
I wonder how Saif Talk explains the fact that Muhammad was molesting little children in Mecca before he became a prophet, and even after he became a prophet, and then started having gay sex with Dihya al-Kalbi.
What's his name? Saif. What do you think about the fact that in Islam, Muhammad was in the cave of Hira and he got banged in his butt by Dihya al-Kalbi, who snuck up behind him because he was bowed down. And then later on, he wanted to keep revisiting and doing this. And so they started role playing as if he's the angel Gabriel and so on. I can show you sources to make a case for this. Why? So we can just say this as fact, right? Why? How can you condemn? How can you condemn gay sex when your prophet got banged in his butt by Dihya al-Kalbi in the cave of Hira? And then he realized he loved it so much. He loved it so much that he had to justify it. So he said, "Oh, I'm a prophet, and hey, whenever you see me banging behind the curtain back there, that's just me and the angel Gabriel." All of Islam is Muhammad trying to coming up in the way to justify him getting banged by Dihya al-Kalbi and to cover it up. So what, Saif? What I mean, why do you what's your problem? I mean, not you, but why do some Muslims have a problem with banging goats when your prophet did? It's okay, right? It's okay to just say stuff. And here's what's amazing. I can say I don't respect Muhammad. I don't care. I don't care. You guys claim to respect all these biblical figures and you lie about them like it's fun to you. What is this religion, man? What is this religion that convinces you that you respect people by lying about them as much as possible? What is this? I don't know. But AP, I've been planning for years and I just never get around to doing it. But for years I've been wanting to say, all you guys do is lie about people in the Bible that you claim to respect. You lie about Jesus, you lie about Mary, you lie about Abraham, you lie about Moses, you lie about Isaac, you lie about all these guys. You lie about them constantly. I don't mean we have a difference of opinion. I mean you flat out lie about them. You make things up. You tell lies about them. And so, and we tell you stop lying, and you won't stop lying because you don't care, because you have no concept of actual honesty or integrity in your religion. So, what can we do? All you guys ever understand is like retaliation. It's the only thing you understand. Calling on you to be better people does not work. Calling on you to be honest is meaningless to you. We understand that. The only thing you guys ever understand is retaliation against your stupid fake prophet. So, what I wanted to say is, if you guys are going to keep lying, I mean, just flat out lying about people in the Bible, well, I can't tell Christians to lie in response. No, that would be, I'm not going to do that. We're not going to lie in response. However, I will tell people, okay, stop giving the benefit of the doubt on anything. So what I'm talking about now, Saif, is you've got these passages. You've got all these passages that say that Muhammad was in the garment of his wives, in the garments of his wives. Now, you guys will, no, here it just means blanket. It just means blanket here, or it means house. You guys just say, oh, it means something else. And we might be inclined to give the benefit of the doubt. We don't know what kind of figures of speech they're using. Maybe here when he says in his wife's garments or in his wife's dresses, it really means blanket there, as if there's no good word for blanket, right? And we give the benefit of the doubt and we say, okay, maybe, or we read this passage about Muhammad and Dihya al-Kalbi and, oh, it's the angel Gabriel behind the curtain. We give, okay, well, maybe something's going on. Maybe he's not getting banged in his butt. We don't know. What I'm saying is, if you guys are just going to flat out lie, I'm not going to say lie in response, but I will say, okay, no more giving the benefit of the doubt on anything. The hadith about Muhammad going down into the woman's grave and sleeping with her, guess what? That's ambiguous. It's like our word sleeping with her. You could just mean you were sleeping, or it can mean you had sex with. It's ambiguous. So what do people do? Well, we'll give the benefit of the doubt. Okay, no more benefit of the doubt. Muhammad's a necrophile. He went down in there and he had sex with it. He had sex with a dead woman. Muhammad was prancing around in his child bride's nightie. Muhammad was getting banged by Dihya al-Kalbi. Is this the direction you guys want to go? Keep in mind, I'm not encouraging lying. I'm just saying you have passages that look like this, and people normally give the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, maybe it means something else. So we won't blast away at Muhammad for this stuff. But if you guys make the rules. If you're going to lie, then fine. We won't give you the benefit of the doubt on any of these things, and we'll just say that you've got a demon-possessed, semen-covered, pedophile, cross-dressing necrophile of a prophet, and he was getting banged by his boyfriend, young stud Dihya al-Kalbi, and they role played. He role played. He's like, "Oh, I want you to choke me like you're an angel. You claim you'd be an angel and choke me as you're banging me." Is that the direction you want to go, man? Because we could go.
You see,
brought this on yourself.
Anyway, let's continue.
God wait 6 more years till his mother become 18 and then give birth to himself. I leave the answer to this question to you and all Christians watching this video. And now
hey,
laws against.
Hang on. What he just said, he acted like he did the math. So I've established that she was 12. So did he wait 6 more years to impregnate her? You've established nothing, dude.
Nothing at all.
There's
nothing.
You have not given anything remotely resembling an authoritative source on her age.
Anyway,
you quoted something I've never met anyone who believes in, and that's what we're all supposed to go with.
We established that. Let's go.
Apostates and heretics.
Islam is the only major religion that we have today that clearly orders to kill everyone who leaves the faith. Some Muslims insist that there is no compulsion in religion. They are partially right.
In Islam, there is no compulsion in religion. Nobody is forced to accept Islam. Yes, we Muslims did conquer lands, and we are, alhamdulillah, proud of it. But we were completely prohibited.
Well, I wish in the future, different things happen that we can also be proud of.
To force the people of such lands to accept Islam. But you are now lying, and I'm sure you know you're lying.
I'm not a lion, I'm a human.
To open
you know you're a lion. You know that you're Mustafa, or is it Mufasa?
Lies and hypocrisy. If your very own brother, or your son or daughter, or the wife you love, or your closest friend secretly entices you, saying, let us go and worship other gods that neither you nor
let him finish.
Your ancestors have known, gods of the peoples around you, whether near or far, from one end of the land to the other. Do not yield to them or listen to them. Show them no pity. Do not spare them or shield them. You must certainly put them to death. Your head must be the first in putting them to death, and then the hands of all the people. Stone them to death because they tried to turn you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. These verses are a clear command for the punishment of apostates. And
are they now?
Nope.
Are they now?
1, he's an idiot. 2, he's an idiot. I just wanted to back up for a second with him saying no compulsion in religion. We never force people. He's contradicting his own sources, his own God, his own prophet, his own. I mean, if you just take something like Muhammad's claims in the Hadith, I've been commanded to fight against people till they say there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. What is that? I'm coming at you to kill you until you convert. What is that?
Come at me, bro.
I'm coming at you with violence until you convert. That's what we call forced conversion. That's what we call it. Now, what you could say is, but you're not forcing them, because you could just say, okay, kill me. Okay, okay, technically, yes, but that's all forced conversion. Anytime someone is forcing someone to believe something, you can say, well, they could choose death. But that is forced conversion. But I just wanted to point out, this is how Abu Bakr described what Muhammad did. Ready? This is how Abu Bakr, this is the History of At-Tabari, Volume 10, page 55, for anyone who wants to check it out. But this is from the Apostate Wars. So after Muhammad died, you had some people just renounced Islam. Some people didn't renounce Islam, but they didn't want to obey Abu Bakr's leadership and so on. Abu Bakr said, "You're all apostates, and if you don't repent and obey and do everything I say, then I'm coming to kill you." But this is how Abu Bakr, he sent a letter to people to give them warning. Hey, do what I say now, or we're coming to kill you. This is how he described what Muhammad did. So he's giving them warning, saying, "Hey, I'm going to do the same thing Muhammad did." This is how Abu Bakr, the first of the rightly guided caliphs, Muhammad's closest companion, described what Muhammad did. And I'm pointing this out because it contradicts what Saif just said. This is from Abu Bakr's letter to the apostates. He says, "Verily, God, may he be exalted, sent Muhammad with his truth to his creation as a bearer of good tidings and as a warner and as one calling others to God with his permission and as a light-bringing lamp, so that he might warn all who live, and so that the saying against the unbelievers might be fulfilled. So God guided with the truth whoever responded to him, and the apostle of God, with his permission, struck whoever turned his back to him until he came to Islam willingly or grudgingly." Did you catch that? God guided with the truth whoever responded to him, and the apostle of God, that's Muhammad, with his permission, struck whoever turned his back to him, to Allah, until he came to Islam willingly or grudgingly. So, in other words, there's a bunch of people, Muhammad preaches Islam. Some people accept it. Those are the people that Allah guided. Whoever turns his back on this and says, "I'm not believing in this," Muhammad struck the person until he came to Islam willingly or grudgingly, whether you want to or not. What is that? That's forced conversion, according to Abu Bakr. What is this religion that Saif is making up and pretending that is his religion?
And here we have the words of Prophet Muhammad himself. The Prophet Muhammad, according to Sahih Muslim, the authentic, authoritative sources on the things he said say, "It has been narrated on the authority of Abdullah bin Umar that the Messenger of Allah says, I have been commanded to fight against people till they testify that there is no God but Allah, that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and that they establish prayer and pay zakat. And if they do it, their blood and money and property, are guaranteed protection on my behalf, except when justified by law, and their affairs rest with Allah." So according to the authentic sources, according to the hadith, Muhammad said that he has been sent to fight the people until they testify that there is no God but Allah, and that the Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. According to the Quran, in chapter 9, verse 29, it explicitly says that Muslims are to fight those people who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth, i.e. Islam, from those who were given the scripture, meaning the Jews and the Christians. Fight until they give the jizya, protection money, willingly while they are humbled. There are further sources in which Muhammad explains what Muslims are supposed to do when they face the enemy, when they face the disbelievers. The Muslims are supposed to give the disbelievers, the non-Muslims, 3 options. Number 1, surrender and convert to Islam. Number 2, become dhimmis, pay jizya, pay protection money, and be our subjects. And do whatever we say, otherwise you will be killed. Number 3, become slaves, basically, or die, get killed. That's it. It seems like forced conversion to me, man. No, they can still die or get protection by paying protection money and becoming our stupid subjects. Sorry, this is just what your religion is. However, let us come also to his reasoning here. So he says that in the Bible it says apostates to be executed.
Let me remind you of what he said.
Islam is the only major religion that we have today that clearly orders to kill everyone who leaves.
Whoa!
Why are you
Look at what
lying?
you actually said.
Basically,
Whoa! Did you see that?
You can see that right there, what I actually said, right?
Yeah, what you
did I say?
actually said. There is no religion right now that commands killing apostates.
Yes.
right? So even if you want to quote Deuteronomy, look at what it says right here in Deuteronomy. Okay.
I think there's no major religion that orders to execute those who leave, execute apostates.
Yeah, Judaism doesn't say we enforce that. Now, this is all tied to the temple system and so on, and the priests and so on. You had a big system in place. Even then, as I'm sure you're going to point out, that's not what it says. It doesn't say kill apostates. But something that people often miss that I always try to point out is also notice a different situation, right? This is Moses. You've just been led out of Egypt to the promised land by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night that is giving you orders, that is performing miracles, that is raining food down from you, that is parting the Red Sea as you're walking through it. What's he saying? Hey, if someone stands up and says, hey, let's go follow these other gods. Hey, everyone, let's go follow some other gods. No. Why? Why would that person be sentenced to death? That person is clearly, knowingly, deliberately rebelling against the God who just guided you out of, like it's obvious and indisputable what you're doing, right? The pillar of fire was giving you orders, and you say, we don't care about that pillar fire who just let us out of we don't care about that pillar fire who just split the Red Sea for. We don't care about that. Let's go against him. Saying, okay, you are knowingly, indisputably, deliberately rebelling against God, and you know it. It's indisputable. You know what you're doing. And if you don't want to be under the covenant that you just agreed to, keep in mind, you don't have to agree with the covenant. In fact, if you don't want to agree at any point, the border's 2 miles that way. You could go somewhere else. And so it's a completely different scenario from someone saying, I've been told to believe in Muhammad, but I've looked up the arguments and everything I can learn about this guy tells me he was a false prophet. So I don't believe in him anymore. And they say, you have to die. That's the same situation. And again, even then, it doesn't say if you stop believing in this, then you have to die. Yeah. So that's not what it says.
There is no penalty in the Bible. There is no penalty in Jewish law for not believing, for changing your faith, for not believing in the religion as is. There is no such thing. In Islam, if you leave the religion and make it public that you have left the religion, and make it known that you no longer believe in this religion, your punishment is death. There is no discussion about this. In the Torah, when we talk about the text of the Torah and the punishment in question here, there is no such punishment. The punishment here in question is for somebody who incites the public to come and worship different gods. This is something that was applied in biblical times. According to the biblical tradition, according to the historical records, Jews stopped doing this around the turn of the millennium, around the time that Christianity began emerging, where such penalties were no longer carried out. They no longer had the authority to carry them out. They no longer have the authority to carry them out. Most Jewish authorities on this matter agree that such a penalty will probably never be carried out again, or should not be carried out. Hasn't been done for 2,000 years. So why in the world would this guy bring my statement, which I made right here? Let's listen to it again. I'm glad that he put it here twice.
Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to actual words, because Saif never, ever does at all.
He's stupid, but pay attention to what I actually said.
Let me remind you of what he said.
Islam is the only major religion that we have today that clearly orders to kill everyone who leaves the faith.
What is that
major religion that we have today that clearly orders to kill everyone who leaves the faith?
Does 21st century Judaism say kill apostates?
No.
Does 21st century Christianity say kill apostates?
No.
What is the only religion we know of that says kill apostates in the 21st century?
Islam.
So is what you said 100% completely, totally accurate?
Yes.
Okay, what's he objecting to then?
He's stupid.
He is stupid indeed.
This guy still believes that...
That's a parallel. That's the Dawa parallel to people say he is risen. They say he is risen indeed. He is stupid. When you're talking about Dawah guys, you have to say he is stupid. He is stupid indeed. I did that by accident, but it actually works.
This guy actually does believe that apostates like myself should be executed. Find me mainstream Jewish figures who preach that today people should be executed for leaving their beliefs or leaving them behind. Find me Christians who believe the same thing. The average Muslim online apologist and preacher believes apostates deserve to be killed. That's it.
Why are you lying? The Bible explicitly says that, exposing either your ignorance
Did you hear that?
or lies. But
You're lying and you're ignorant.
This is just so stupid.
What you said was 100% indisputably true and correct. And why are you lying? Who's lying? Dude, it's this constant, every da'i is this, it's this constant mixture of stupidity and ignorance and deception. Stupidity, ignorance, and deception. This should be a commercial. Are you ignorant and stupid and massively deceptive? Are you a compulsive liar? Then have we got a career for you. Become a da'i.
The funny thing
Lily
is
J
also,
can do it, so can you.
the funny thing is also that this entire time we're basically just being quite charitable here. He's quoting the Bible and he's criticizing me as a supposed Orthodox Christian who now has to agree with capital punishment for apostasy. In Christianity, there never was a capital punishment for apostasy. David, in Christianity, did Christianity ever preach that apostates should be executed?
No, you can find times in history where you had some Christian ruler who made it a law or something like that, but that is not the harshest penalty, according to the New Testament, according to what we're actually commanded, the absolute 100% harshest penalty for anything was excommunication. That's what the church has the ability to do. Excommunication. You don't want to follow it, the door's right over there. Keep in mind, it would have been a parallel in ancient Israel. You don't want to follow these rules. The border is 2 miles that way. You don't have to. Buy if you don't want to be buy. So anyway, the harshest punishment in the New Testament was excommunication, which means anyone who says, "Hey, if you don't follow Jesus, I'm going to kill you," you're not getting that from Jesus.
I'm pretty sure that it's quite funny. I wish I had to watch this before, actually. I think St. John Chrysostom actually has writings on correcting or how to deal with those who deflect. And he even explicitly says that you shouldn't apply violence against them or something like that. I got to look that up later. But there is no Christian. Actually, I'm really curious what he's going to bring in response to this. But there is no Christian teaching, no Christian text that ever commands to kill apostates. So let's have his conclusion here again. Look at his conclusion.
Apostates. And let me remind you of what he said.
Islam is the only major religion that we have today that clearly orders to kill everyone who leaves the faith.
Why are you lying? The Bible explicitly says that, exposing either your ignorance or lies. But what about your new Orthodox Christian tradition? According to the Codex of Justinian, who was an
I just want to play some sad music, man.
Once again, AP. How many of his fans do you think have any clue how massively deceptive he's being when he's bringing this? Like, I guarantee you, every one of his fans thinks, "Oh yes, he's quoting the Bible here. He's quoting the Bible," because that's how stupid they are.
According to the Codex of Justinian, which is part of the Bible. What is the Codex of Justinian? What is it for? I wonder if he explains it. Let's see.
Orthodox sent an emperor. If anyone made a Christian by the venerable law of the church becomes a Jew and joins their sacrilegious assemblies, when the accusation against him has been proven, we order that his property be claimed as property of the treasury. We order that clergymen of Catholic churches or monks of the Orthodox faith who have abandoned the true worship of the Orthodox religion to follow the heresy and execrable teachings of Apollinaris and Eutyches shall be liable to all punishments that have been introduced by past laws against heretics and shall be driven beyond the very soil of the Roman Empire, just as the provisions of foregoing laws have decreed concerning the Manichaeans.
Wait a minute. What are we reading here? Look at this. What is the punishment, David? We order that clergymen of Catholic churches or monks of the Orthodox faith who have abandoned the true worship of the Orthodox religion to follow the heresy and execrable teachings of Apollinaris or Eutyches shall be liable to all punishments that have been introduced by past laws against heretics and shall be driven beyond the very soil of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, Justinian expelled. These things are actually connected. We pointed out in the past why you ended up with weird heretical Christian teachings that influenced Muhammad. Justinian, Emperor Justinian expelled heretics from the Roman Empire. He said, "Get out of here."
Why is he citing this as comparison to executing apostates?
I don't know. Maybe he's about to get to it, but at this part is yes. Justinian expelled heretics from the Roman Empire. He said, "Go somewhere else." And a bunch of them went to Arabia. That's why you end up with all this weird collection of teachings, this weird mixture of teachings in Islam. They were from weird heretical Christian groups.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here!
That's basically what they said to the heretics.
Why punish people and limit their freedom of religion and speech? This is Christianity in real life throughout history. When it's not,
this is a Roman emperor. This is a Roman emperor, dude. Saif, do you have? I know your fans are watching this because they're stupid and inbred, and they're too dumb to follow anything, and they don't, and they have no problem with lying. So there's no scenario where they could actually be upset with anything that you're saying. But do you have any idea how stupid and deceptive you sound to someone who isn't one of your followers? It's like beyond ridiculous.
So here is the thing. He cites in response to this, and he wants to go to the Orthodox Christian faith. He cites punishments or limiting freedoms. The examples that he cites are first off, this is not the religion. This is what the empire.
That's a Roman emperor said something. So notice the assumption. Any Roman emperor, well, let's just say any Christian Roman emperor, we are bound by what they say.
Yeah.
Guys, you Christians who are watching. Is there a single Christian on the planet who says anything any Christian Roman emperor ever said, we have to take as authoritative and part of our religion?
Yes, I admit
you couldn't do that. It would be impossible because they contradict each other a bunch.
But I met many of them. I don't remember their names.
And what is Saif saying? Again, this is a response to AP saying there's no religion right now. But what about the Emperor Justinian?
But the thing is also
so insanely stupid.
Even then, like the examples that he goes to is that is about those who after becoming Christian go back and follow the Judaizers, which is go back on their Christian teachings and go back to the synagogues, for example, in this case, then their properties should be taken away from them and be added to the treasury. The second measure is those who come up with heresies. Right, with heresies within Christianity, so other Christians who are heretical, they should be pushed outside the borders of the Roman Empire. This is the example that he gives in response to me saying that Islam executes apostates. I'm sorry, but this guy is just, I don't want to say the word, man.
Yeah, guys, I mean,
he's disabled.
Just so everyone knows, this is dawah. This is, I mean, other people do it different. Some do it better. Some do it worse. But they're all doing the exact same thing. AP says something that is completely true. There's one religion that in the 21st century is saying go around and kill apostates, kill people for leaving the religion. There is one. And no, I will show you that you're wrong. Look, this says Deuteronomy. That if you, and Deuteronomy doesn't even say if you just leave the religion or something like that, you have to be executed. It's not even what it says. And it's a completely different situation. And who is there who's saying, yes, let's go ahead and enforce this long after that entire system broke down. Again, the temple system with the priests and so on, it broke down. And then you say Christians have the same thing because that's in Deuteronomy, when again the harshest punishment in Christianity is excommunication, not execution. And then you quote Justinian saying, if you're not going to follow Orthodox Christianity, go somewhere else. And AP is somehow lying in all this.
So stupid, man. I don't know why people are talking trash about Sam Shamoun. Don't talk trash about Sam Shamoun, anybody, or I will slap you. But yeah, Sam Shamoun is Catholic. I'm not sure why people are talking about Sam Shamoun.
Concerning the Manichaeans, why punish people and limit their freedom of religion and speech? This is Christianity in real life throughout history when it's not influenced by liberalism. We have resolved to close temples in all places and in every city immediately and with access forbidden to all, to deny the incorrigible the possibility of doing wrong. We also desire all to abstain from sacrifices. If anyone does anything of the kind, he shall be laid low by the avenging sword, and we decree that the property of the person executed shall be claimed by the treasury, and provincial governors shall be punished similarly if they fail to avenge such crimes. The avenging
pagan sacrifices and pagan rituals. Now,
and what does this have to do with Christianity?
What does this have to do with anything, Saif? What does this have to do with What does this have to do with apostasy? What does this have to do with Christianity? What does this have to do with a major religion existing today besides Islam that also orders to punish apostates? What does this have to do with anything? You absolute imbecile. You absolute clown. You absolute
Following his reasoning, we could point to any Muslim ruler in history and say, this is 21st century Islam. Saif, that's how dumb you sound. Saif, do you agree that I could point to any Muslim ruler in the history of Islam, many of whom completely contradicted each other and gave varying punishments, some of which had nothing to do with the actual teachings of Allah and Muhammad? But would you say, if I quote any Muslim ruler in history, then you have to accept that as Orthodox Islam that is binding in the 21st century? Would you say that?
Yes.
I know you wouldn't say that, because you would understand that it would be absolutely insane to say that. And yet that's what you're saying. And you for some reason, I was going to say you expect us to take you seriously, but you don't. You know, you're basically Lily J. But not with any redeeming feature that makes her appealing to a different kind of Muslim audience.
Why does this emperor say that from now on pagan temple practices and temple sacrifices are forbidden, and they will close down all places and punish those who engage in this? What is apostate prophet saying about this? Why does he not complain that the Roman Empire still today punishes pagan sacrifices? You absolute imbecile, man. You're a complete imbecile. And what's funny is also he just said a thing here. He fleetingly said something here. He said that this is true Christianity without being influenced by modern. Let me hear that again.
Have decreed concerning the Manichaeans. Why punish people and limit their freedom of religion and speech? This is Christianity in real life throughout history when it's not influenced by liberalism.
So when the Roman Empire, right, the Roman Empire in history adopts certain practices while they are Christian, All those practices are to be taken as a perfect example of Christianity, even when they are not.
Mhm.
When Christians in history, however, do things that he doesn't like, then it's probably under the influence of non-Christian things like liberal
Mhm.
politics. That's basically why can't we say that this here was influenced by Roman culture and Roman practices and the Roman lust for power and
Mhm.
the Roman barbaric and authoritarian way of dealing with dissent and so on.
Yeah, you'd have to say that for the first more than 3 centuries of Christianity, they're not killing anyone. They're not killing anyone.
Why wasn't that true
Therefore,
Christianity?
liberalism, they were influenced by modern liberalism. So some modern liberals, according to Seif, invented a time machine, went back, influenced the first several centuries of Christianity until Christianity merged with the Roman Empire, and then the time machine trick didn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And then you got true Christianity.
The early Christians were known for being for refusing to engage in violence, for being against violence, for opposing violence, for not wanting to fight for anybody, and so on. Why wasn't that the true Christianity, Saif? Why are certain policies under the Roman Empire true Christianity? That's very convenient.
Yeah. Let me ask. Hey, Saif. You know, when Muslims try to when you have like Salafis and so on, they say, we need to get back to the real Islam. And what do they do when they go, you got to if you want to teach something, it's got to come from the first 3 generations of Muslims. It's got to go back to them. Okay, if someone came along 6 centuries after the time of Muhammad, and came up with a rule, and it had no basis in the Quran or the Hadith and so on, would you take that as authoritative Islamic teaching? If so, then that's interesting. I'd like to know that. What if it actually contradicted what Islam teaches? If a Muslim ruler comes along 6 centuries after the time of Muhammad, contradicts what you find in the Quran and the Hadith, would you take it as authoritative Islam just because some guy said it, some ruler said it? If you say yes, that's interesting. I'd like to know that. If you say no, why are you applying that? Why are you applying that to us? Why are you doing that to us? Saying, hey, this guy came along 6 centuries after, and you have to. Why, dude? Like, dude, you sound like a lying idiot to us. You sound like a lying idiot to us, and this is just dawah, and it impresses your fans, which tells us something about your fans. We're looking at you saying this is insanely idiotic, deceptive nonsense, and we're thinking, what does this tell us about this guy's fans? Like, what level of stupid do these guys have to be? What level of gullible do they have to be? What level of ignorant do they have to be that you're sitting here and the proto-evangelium of, and they think this is all like binding on us or something like that? Do you have any clue how dumb you sound? Anyway, do you have any idea how dumb your fans sound if this is what they like? It's insane.
Wait, la 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 la. I'm looking for a text by Saint Basil, also known as Saint Beast. Saint Beast or Saint Basil is a very, very, very based church father who is very, very much well known and appreciated, whose stance generally on killing was. Let me find this. It would be very cool if I had this handy here. Let me find this. It would be very, very cool if I had this handy. Let me see. That killing in general is a burden and terrible and abominable thing. But it is necessary at times in war and so on. But anyone who engages in killing should spend some time in repentance or something like that. Let's see. But anyway, I would just suggest looking that up. Maybe also for Saif to look it up. Maybe for Saif to just study early church fathers and their stances on things. It's not like Islam, bro. It's not like Islam at all. Maybe later when David talks again for 2 hours, I can look it up for a second and bring it here.
We have resolved to close temples in all places and in every city immediately and with access forbidden to all, to deny the incorrigible the possibility of doing wrong. We also desire all to abstain from sacrifices. If anyone does anything of the kind, he shall be laid low by the avenging sword. And we decree that the property of the person executed shall be claimed by the treasury, and provincial governors shall be punished similarly if they fail to avenge such crimes. The avenging sword for pagans practicing their religion. This is Orthodox Christianity ruling by its tradition. So now, Mr. Christian, anything you try to bring against Islam can be found in Christianity and the Bible, and even more severe. This is how we expose
Even more severe. So you have not shown us the capital punishment for apostates in Christianity, yet you're acting like you did, and acting like it's even more severe. I wonder if Muslims are seeing this. I wonder if Muslims watch.
I guarantee you they're not. I get 100. I guarantee they could have watched everything we just said and yes, he's right. He's right. Saif is very powerful.
Muslim right. Muslim right. Muslim always right.
That's
always right.
People don't realize what a serious problem this is. So to be clear, you have very intelligent Muslims who would understand everything we're saying right now.
No.
The kind of people who are following Saif again are really, really stupid, and this is an ongoing issue. How do you persuade people who are too stupid to understand anything you're saying in response to them? Like what do you do? What do you do if someone goes, but look at this. This says in the Proto-Evangelium of James, and if they're too stupid to say, hey, let's read what it actually says. One, it's not something we believe. It's not even a book we believe in. So that's one thing. Two, if you actually read what it says, an old man marrying a child is condemned in the culture. And you're pointing to that. And it has nothing to do with a prepubescent girl. What are you talking about? This has nothing to do with anything. I guarantee you not one of his followers would understand one word that we're saying. And you could lay all that out to them and they would say, you're just jealous because he humiliated you and refuted you. They're too stupid to understand responses. That's a serious problem. I don't even know what to do about that.
Well, here's one passage actually that I got from Saint Based, also known as Saint Basil, from Saint Basil. I thought to myself, if I get baptized as an Orthodox Christian and have to choose a patron saint, maybe I should choose Saint Basil, but I should ask if I can change it to Based, so I could call myself Based, and then make that in reference to Saint Basil. If that is accepted, maybe I can even change my my legal name and add Based to my name.
You could switch to you could switch from apostate prophet to Saint Based. That would be funny if your channel name just changed one day to Saint Based.
You see, let's see here. Homicide in war is not reckoned by our fathers as homicide. I presume from their wish to make concession to men fighting on behalf of chastity and true religion. Perhaps, however, it is well to counsel that those whose hands are not clean only abstain from communion for 3 years. Jeez.
Funny, we're not like 3 weeks. It's like 3 years.
3 years. So, am I understanding this right, David? He says it is not wrong to kill people in war. If you're fighting in a just war, it is okay and a necessity to fight and kill people. However, if you have made your hands dirty, I would counsel that you should not partake in communion for 3 years.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like, which is it's very, very brutal, very harsh. Pretty harsh. So it's not a thing to be taken lightly, Not like in Islam, which is like, if you kill, then you see, if you kill, then you will get virgins, you see, and everyone will love you, you see. That's not how it goes, man.
hypocrisy of these people. We just need to open their books and use their own beliefs against them. And inshallah, I'll finish with this. According to the homilies of the Epistle of the Ephesians of St. John Chrysostom, the wife is a second authority. Let not her then be
Man, are you serious?
demand equality, for she is under the head, nor let him despise her as being in subjection.
As not as what? Excuse me. Can we have that again? Can we have that again?
For she is under the head, nor let him despise her as being in subjection.
Let me hear that again.
For she is under the head, nor let him despise her as being in subjection. For she is the body, and if the head despise the body, it will itself also perish.
Saif, do you understand what you're reading? Saif, do you understand what you're reading?
I don't think he does.
Do you understand what you're reading? And can you compare this to Islam? Oh man. So here is Islam for you. Let's compare this to Islam. In fact, let's not go to some random person in Islam, right? Let's not go to some random person. Let's directly go to the Quran. Let's directly go to the Quran here. This is what the Quran is. The Quran. Men are in charge of women. So men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding in absence what Allah would have them guard. But those women, wives, from whom you fear arrogance, only fear arrogance, not those wives who rebel or who do bad stuff. Those wives from whom you fear arrogance, advise them. If they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. Now, it says very finally here in the translation of Sahih International in solid brackets, lightly. This is only an addition. It doesn't say lightly in the text at all. So, if the wives fear arrogance, since they are supposed to be obedient to the husband and do whatever the husband says, if the husbands fear arrogance from the wives, they're supposed to advise them, separate them in beds, and finally beat them. That's it. Beat them. That's what they're supposed to do. But if they obey you once more, if they obey you again, seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted and grand. So this is what women are supposed to be in Islam. This is how they are treated in Islam. A man is in charge of a woman. A woman is subject to him. A woman must obey him at all times, do whatever he says. According to the hadith, if a man demands sex, a woman is supposed to leave whatever the heck she's doing and immediately lay down her stuff and go into and please him, and then go back to whatever the heck she's doing again, right? She's not supposed to say no. If she does, then she has committed a sin and the angels will curse her all night. She's supposed to be as obedient as it gets. She's supposed to do everything he says. Otherwise, he may advise her. If she does it again, he might separate her in bed. If she does it again, he might beat her. And that is the resort that he can resort to. If she does it again, he can beat her again. If she does it again, he can beat her again. If she does it again, he can beat her again, and so on. This is basically what the man does. The iron fist of the man is that he rules over the woman, and the woman must obey and does and do whatever the man demands. If the woman doesn't obey, then the man can beat her. In fact, David loves to read about women getting beaten green, black, and blue in the hadiths. David, do you want to bring up one of those hadiths where women are beaten black and blue and green?
Yeah, bring it up.
Which one is that again?
Sahih al-Bukhari, I believe 5825. I'm not positive about that, but like 60% sure. 5825. Does that look right?
I think it does. I think it does indeed. Let's see. Rifa divorced his wife, whereupon Abdurrahman bin Zubayr al-Qurazi married her. Aisha said that the lady came wearing a green veil and complained to her of
Remember
her
the green
husband
veil.
and showed her a green spot on her skin caused by the beating. It was the habit of ladies to support each other. So when Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women.
Pause that, pause that, pause that. Guys, this is Aisha, whose title in Islam is Mother of the Faithful, who learned Islam as part of the first generation, learned Islam from Muhammad himself. Her father is Abu Bakr, Muhammad's closest companion, and her husband is Muhammad. There is no woman in history who should know Islam, who should know and understand Islam and its actual impact on women better than Aisha. And Aisha, after seeing how Jewish women were treated, after seeing how pagan women were treated, and after seeing how Muslim women are treated, her takeaway was, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman, as much as the believing women. The believing women, she's referring to Muslim women. She says, I have not seen any woman suffer as much as Muslim women. Not one. I've never seen a pagan woman suffer as much as Muslim women. I've never seen a Jewish or a Christian woman suffering as much as Muslim women because of the way we're treated by our Muslim husbands. And what she say, her skin is greener than her clothes. She's wearing a green outfit. And Aisha says, look, her skin is greener than her clothes from her husband beating her. So this is what the light beating means. And guys, guess what? This is light beating. This is light beating. The actual distinction between light beating and heavy beating is a heavy beating could do like permanent damage, like breaking bones and stuff like that. That's the difference. This even beating till her skin turns green, that's a light beating in Islam. Anyway,
That's what they do.
Aisha.
That's what they do.
Oh, I forgot about that. I wanted to make there was something, I don't know if it was a tweet or a video clip someone shared. I forget what, but it was a while back. And Lily J was saying something about how great women are treated in Islam. Wanted to make something called Lily J versus Aisha on women in Islam. It's like, okay, Lily J says this in the 21st century about how women are treated in Islam. Aisha says something different. Who are we gonna listen to about Islam?
You should have somebody Photoshop a photo of Lily J and make her look beaten up, green and stuff. You know. So here, Aisha said, "I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes. Her skin is greener than her clothes."
It's not easy.
In the
being
continuation of this hadith, the Prophet Muhammad does not reprimand the man for beating her too badly. He basically finds fault in the claims of the woman and so on. The matter is resolved in a different way, and nothing is said about the beating. It's just about the cause of the beating. That's it. This is how Islam treats women. This is how Islam treats women. Powerful, 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 powerful.
But AP, you're ignoring the fact that in 1142 there was a Christian who said it's okay to beat women. So now you are a big hypocrite.
What did he even bring here? So this is Saint John Chrysostom saying the wife is a second authority. Ah, good. Second authority. Let not her then demand equality, for she is under the head, nor let him despise her as being in subjection, for she is the body. Let him not despise her as being in subjection, for she is the body. And if the head despise the body, it will itself also perish. This is actually, this sounds much better than anything I've ever read from Islam and from Muslim sources. So I'm not sure why you would bring this as the ultimate blow here, Saif, you absolute imbecile. That said,
Dude,
I believe
I believe he could say anything, no matter how, like it could have nothing. He could just sit up there. Oh, the apostate prophet says this, but let me say the response, a bibbidi bobbidi and a bibbidi boobidi. And I think his fans would go, wow, what a great refutation. Wow, so powerful. He could just like speak gibberish.
Yeah. That said, this is from Saint John Chrysostom in the 4th century. Right? He was around in the 4th century. Very significant figure. I personally do believe that politically in society today, men and women should have full equal rights. This is in no way contradictory, and in no way this is unacceptable in Orthodox Christian. So what exactly is your point? Are you dumb, Saif? Jeez.
She is the body, and if the head despise the body, it will itself also perish. There is no equality between men and women according to your Saint John Chrysostom. So from now on, I don't want you to use liberal feminist talking points. You are not equal to your woman according to your own sense. So if you disagree, your problem is not with me, but your problem is with your own sense, John Chrysostom. So refute him, not me.
Okay, what if I disagree with something that my saint John Chrysostom says, Saif? Can I then criticize you? Can I then criticize your religion? What stupid logic, man.
Alhamdulillah for the blessing of Islam. Subhanallah.
Now, let's get one thing straight, Saif. I'm not a full Christian at this moment, but so the tradition and the history, the tradition, the beliefs, and all of that of Christianity, the things that you cite are quite powerful and quite admirable. It's not comparable to your religion. I don't know why you want to compare this to your camel raping religion, or to your child rape religion, to your goat raping religion. It's these things are not comparable, right? They're not comparable. One is a sophisticated belief system that brought great things to the world, contributed in amazing ways to the world, and in fact made the world vastly a better place. Your religion is a religion of molesting children, enslaving humanity, treating women like dirt, enslaving and mistreating disbelievers, raping people, and so on. Your religion is not a sophisticated religion. It's a religion of ignorance. It's a religion of stupidity. If I wanted to become part of your religion, I would make myself stupid again. So please don't compare these two things. These are worlds apart. You are comparing a barbaric so-called faith of underdeveloped barbarians to an actual religion that makes civilizations. These two things are not comparable. Please stop.
Hey, hang on. I was looking for. It was back when you were going through 434, and I wanted to look up this particular commentary, but I couldn't remember where it was. Turns out it's in Qurtubi, but it's on. I remember there was that little part, because it says if those on whose part you fear rebellion or desertion or whatever, depending on the translation, it gives us like 3 steps: admonish them, banish them to beds apart, and beat them. I remembered a commentary on the second part. So admonish them, banish them to beds apart. That part. So not even the final straw. Banish them to beds apart. This is from the commentary of Al-Qurtubi, but he says Ibn Abbas said to leave them alone, talking about leaving them alone in their sleeping places. Ibn Abbas said, to leave them alone is to tie them up in their homes, just as you would tie your ride, meaning your donkey. You tie them up. It's not just saying separate from them. That's the majority position, is that, keep in mind, the majority position is that banish them to beds apart is like separate from them. Hey, I'm not sharing a bed with you. But you have Ibn Abbas said, to leave them alone is to tie them up in their homes, just as you would tie your ride. And this is Al-Tabari's own view on this. However, Judge Abu Bakr bin al-Arabi renounced Al-Tabari's interpretation on the ground of tying the wife, as he believed that Al-Tabari based his view on a strange hadith regarding Asma, the daughter of Abu Bakr, who was married to Al-Zubair bin al-Awam. She used to leave her home often until people began to gossip and fault her husband for that. So she's just, leaving around, walking around town. So people start complaining and gossiping about her. What's this woman doing walking around town? As a result, Al-Zubair blamed his second wife for this and tied Asma's hair and the hair of his second wife together. So he blamed his second wife for this, and then he tied Asma's hair and the second wife's hair together, then he beat both of them up very severely. So I bring this up for a reason, right? Again, this is the minority position, right? That this means, hey, that banish them to beds apart means you tie your wife up by her hair or something like this.
Damn.
But following Saif's reasoning, we can point to anything any Muslim has ever said, and it's authoritative, and he can't reject it because then he'd be contradicting his religion. That's how he treats it, right? And any Christian he can quote in history is somehow binding on all Christians ever, even though there's not one Christian on the planet who believes that. But anyway, so Saif, yeah, since Muslims, there have been Muslims who say this. That part about banishing them to their beds means tie them up like you would tie up a donkey, and that's even before you get to the final stage, which is beating them. And Saif, we even have from Muhammad Hijab himself pointing out that if you just go with the Quran, you would conclude that this can include chopping their heads off if you don't go with the sources outside the Quran. So anyway, you're stuck with it. You're stuck with all of that because if a Muslim has said it, then you're stuck with it.
Beast. Saint Chrysostom, homilies. So apparently Saint Chrysostom in his homilies explicitly talked about how on 1 Corinthians on how men should not hurt or beat their wives and all that. So if we once again want to go to church fathers and especially Saint Chrysostom, since apparently Saif has a big obsession with Saint Chrysostom, we should probably have a look at that sometime. But there is one quote which I find very, very interesting. For what union, what sort of union? Saint Chrysostom says, Saint Chrysostom says, where is this? What sort of union is that where the wife trembles at her husband? And what sort of pleasure will the husband himself enjoy if he dwells with his wife as with a slave, and not as with a free woman? Yea, though you shalt suffer anything on her account, do not upbraid her, for neither did Christ do this. Huh. Interesting. I need to look further into this, but this is a this seems like a very cool quote here, right, from Saint John Chrysostom, where he says, for what sort of union is that where the wife trembles at her husband, and what sort of pleasure will the husband himself enjoy if he dwells with his wife as with a slave, and not as with a free woman? Free woman? Does this mean Saint John Chrysostom is a liberal progressive? You see, he's a liberal progressive feminist. Yea, though you should suffer anything on her account, do not upbraid her, for neither did Christ do this. This sounds like you see very clearly here how the feminist liberal progressives influenced Saint John Chrysostom. Shame.
Converted from the worship of a human being to a worship of another human being. As an atheist, he worshipped his own desires, meaning he took himself as his God. And now as a Christian, he's worshipping another human being, Jesus, as his God. So he went from one place in Jahannam to another place in Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
This is funny. There are some who keep doing this whole thing where like Muslims and Christians have some union or something. Those guys should really hear this stuff. But man, I kind of feel like I want to respond or talk about this whole rhetoric of worshiping a human or praying to a human or worshiping a human, as he says. I feel like I would talk better about that at some point in the future. But David, so he accuses me, since I am now apparently, according to him, a full Orthodox Christian, of worshiping a man, that is Jesus. What do you say about these accusations, David?
Well, if you mean God incarnate, then yeah. So yeah, Saif, according to our scriptures, which your God and your prophet affirm as the inspired, preserved, authoritative word of God, the second person of the Trinity entered creation as Jesus of Nazareth. And as to his divine nature, he is God and therefore worthy of worship. Are you saying that God isn't worthy of worship? That's strange. But on the topic of men, hey, Saif, why do you talk to Muhammad during your prayers? And why does Allah pray for Muhammad? Who is Allah praying to? Remember, according to Muhammad Hijab and according to the Quran, Allah prays for Muhammad or prays upon Muhammad. So the question is, who is Allah praying to? Is he praying to himself or is he praying to someone else? If so, who's he praying to? So anyway, the long story short there, Muhammad is so important that you actually address him directly in your prayers. You say, peace be upon you, O Prophet, in your prayers. We acknowledge that we worship Jesus, but that's because Jesus is God. You guys say Muhammad isn't God, and yet you speak to him directly in your prayers, and you treat him as God. If you were to make a diagram of your religion, it's Muhammad in the middle, and everything is around him. And we actually know this. We know this. Muhammad said that if God tells you something is haram or halal, and you listen to a man tell you the opposite, then you're actually worshiping that man, right? And we had Muhammad Hijab give a perfect display of this. He says, according to the Quran, having sex with a 5-year-old would be halal, but it wouldn't be halal according to Muhammad. And we're going with Muhammad. What's that mean? It means you're worshiping Muhammad. That's not according to me. That's according to Muhammad Hijab. So you worship a man. You worship a man. We worship God who entered in creation as Jesus of Nazareth. You worship a mere mortal human being who also happens to be a pedophile.
Amen. So, unfortunately, Saif Talk, you worship a pedophile. I can say the same thing. So, although I haven't really called myself a full Christian at this moment, I am going to church. I'm learning, and I'm also actually daily doing certain prayers. I have adopted a prayer rule in which I also recite a creed. And yes, I'm not shy, and I'm happy to say it. And in fact, I can read it to you right here because it will affirm one thing. So it says, "I believe in one God, Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and of all things visible and invisible, and in one Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, begotten of the Father before all ages, light of light, true God of true God, begotten, not created, of one essence with the Father, through whom all things were made. For us and for our salvation, he came down from heaven and was incarnate by the Holy Spirit and the Virgin Mary and became man." There you have it. Safe. There you have it. And became man. If that's what you have a problem with, then you really don't, you just don't understand what you're commenting on. But I'm going to finish this. "He was crucified for us on the Pontius Pilate, and he suffered and was buried. On the third day he rose according to the scriptures, and he ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of the Father. He will come again with glory to judge the living and the dead. His kingdom will have no end. And in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, giver of life, who proceeds from the Father, who together with the Father and the Son is worshipped and glorified, who spoke through the prophets. In one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, I acknowledge one baptism for the forgiveness of sins. I expect the resurrection of the dead and the life of the age to come. Amen." That is it. Now you think, oh, Jesus was just a man and you worship a man. How dare you worship a man? Well, in Christianity, people don't just worship a man. People worship Jesus. People worship God. People worship the Trinity. They worship Jesus, who became flesh, who became man, and who is fully divine and fully human. That is what he is. He is fully divine and fully human. And he became man, which he chose to do in order to fulfill a certain purpose, which makes it actually very, very, very sweet and very interesting to be Christian and to practice Christianity and to feel like God descends and participates in the human nature and the human experience, and shares it with humans and lets humans partake in the divinity and so on. This is actually the very fantastic and great part of Christianity, which is not comparable to what you have in Islam, which is where you don't have an actual relationship of love between the divine and the human, but rather you have a master-slave relationship. That's what it is. Of course, you would never understand it. Of course, you would never relate. Of course, you would never, ever understand what this religion actually is. You don't understand anything. You don't understand any of the ancient beliefs and of the faith that you have in front of you. All you get is what your 7th century pedophile, rapist, warlord told you. That's all you got. That's all you got, mate. Anyway.
By the way, isn't that weird? I mean, because that's kind of the bigger issue, right? It's you've got these Muslims and they think that God supports their religion and all the prophets have supported their religion. At the end of the day, it's what one guy says, and they just believe everything that one guy says, even when it flies in the face of everything everyone else says and flies in the face of every bit of evidence we have. They've built an entire religion around one guy who told them what to believe about everyone else, told them what to believe about God, told them what to believe about angels, told them what to believe about every prophet who came before him, told them what to believe about everything. He just happens to be the least reliable person in the history of forever. I mean, if you listed all the possible criteria of a false prophet, how do you spot a false prophet? Muhammad has all of those characteristics. And if you listed all the criteria of someone that you just should not trust under any circumstances, Muhammad has all those characteristics more than anyone else in history. I cannot think of someone who has the collection of features that Muhammad has that would say, do not trust this guy under any circumstances. And Muslims build their entire religion around that guy and treat him as the most trustworthy person who's ever existed. This is a weird, sick cult.
Free Naturalist says, AP, I never heard you say Jesus is your Lord and Savior yet. Did you not hear what I just read?
Did you not hear a word of what he just read?
Allah protect us and keep us on the straight path. Say a prophet, he is Allah, one and indivisible. Allah, the sustainer needed by him. Began to a Muslim
Anyway.
Imam at the mosque. And don't forget.
Yeah. Well, this is a terrible video.
This is a good summary, though. It's, hey, let me spend an entire video spouting complete idiotic nonsense, not proving anything, but say it in a confident way, and my followers will mindlessly believe in it. And that's the goal in Islam. Get a big enough mob rallied around you to where who's going to argue? They've got a big mob, and it doesn't matter how stupid they are. If you get a big enough mob, they can silence your critics and so on. Anyway, that's the goal in Islam. But it's like that. Say a bunch of stupid, idiotic nonsense, get it a big enough following, and then you're set. You're set as a dawah guy.
Meanwhile, in other news today,
Donald
Trump actually ordered strikes on Yemen to take out the Houthis.
What?
Which is very, very funny. This was on the news. And let's see. U.S. strikes on Houthis kill 21 in Yemen as Trump vows to demolish the militant group. Based. As long as we're just carrying out airstrikes and just killing a bunch of them, that's pretty based. U.S. launches multiple strikes against Houthi targets as Trump says attack on American vessels must stop. Based. Good to see. Somebody needs to put an end to those camel rapists. All right. Songs of Relief says, Saif fans, have some shame. Stop it. Get some help. Arm Orthodoxy says, wait, first, no, what? Yes. Nigj Ilham says, Jesus bless you both. Wait a minute, I started below. What am I doing here? I'm supposed to go up.
I don't know, but you're making it sound like we don't know what we're doing.
Coaster Juice Dawo voice. AP will change his name.
AP will change his name to the apostate pope because he was a Muslim. And now that he is a Christian, he will become the pope.
Perfect. Apostate of Allah. In my experience, if a woman wasn't forced to wear the burqa, she's wearing it to virtue signal. Similarly, that with the hijab, although that is more nuanced. It's like the man's zabuba. I'm so religious. Powerful.
Absolutely correct. It's like, what's the purpose of a zabiba, right? These guys bang their heads on the floor to get a mark to say, look at how devout I am. And then
Look at
it's
my
the same
big
thing.
Sabiba.
The entire religion is nothing. The entire religion is one big virtue signal, right? It's everything. Look
Look
at
at
me,
my
I'm
big
fasting. Look at me,
Sabiba.
I'm praying. Look at how I'm dressed. Look at my forehead. I bang my head. See, look how holy I am.
Look at my big Sabiba. I got a big Sabiba. Look at my big Sabiba.
Check
I got the biggest Sabiba. Sabiba, Sabiba. Sabiba, Sabiba. Look at my Sabiba. Sabiba, Sabiba.
There you go. Perfect music. Buddy Rabbit, yeah, that's cool, Saif, but the only rule of faith in matters of conduct is the inspired scripture itself. An inherited tradition or a patriarch's argument for against certain practices are not authorities over us. LOL. Based. There you go. There you go. You see? You see? Jay sent you a DM on Twitter under the Gnome King. Farid responds and Jake called out Daniel. That's cool. That's cool. I wish them all the best. David, you might want to check that out. You like watching Muslims urinate upon one another.
What? I mean, they've been going at each other. Is it like something new?
I bet so. That's what it sounds like.
The Dawa Wars, ladies and gentlemen, the Dawa Wars. Welcome to the Dawa Wars.
Dawa Wars, Dawa Wars, Dawa Wars,
Dawa Wars.
Dawa Wars, and Dawa Wars.
Leggy says David Ruslan has been exposed manipulating people for money. Don't preach at his conference.
Oh, well, if Leggy says it in the comment section of
Please don't
video,
please
I
don't
have
talk trash about people here, about fellow other people here. Okay. John Sausage, is he high or something? Yes. John Chrysostom wasn't a pope or anything. Both Catholic and Orthodox teachings are constituted by councils, not what some dude said. I wouldn't necessarily describe Saint John Chrysostom as just some dude. He's a very significant figure in of the early church fathers, one of the most important, and influenced lots of rulings and all that. But yeah. True. Rick Newton says, context, Islam, LOL, really, they just want us all to commit taqiyya like them. Who needs exegesis when you can just lie and call it the truth? Muslims just all go to hell in Quran and Hadith. Beerus says, eating pork is haram, but marrying kids is halal. This is the truth. Saint Faustina says, I need subtitles. I can't understand this jahil. Powerful. Prove me wrong then, says, I'm happy for you, AP. I remember watching a video of you and David a while back when you two were messing around and David said you will be the next Nabil Qureshi. Thought I wasn't meant to be a serious video. God bless. Thank you. Appreciate that. I remember that too. That's what David was being very mean.
We were going back and forth. You were saying I was going to be an atheist, and I was saying you will be the next Nabil Qureshi.
That's pretty based. Pretty based. Kule Luke says, did you see the video of two leftist Irish women abusing an Israeli man in a bar in Dublin? I briefly saw on mute two people doing that. I haven't really checked it out very much. Ireland is just a disgrace, man. I don't know what to say. Le Petit Chris says, YouTube won't let me send a message asking why this guy is wearing my ex-boyfriend's butt drag hair on his chin, so I paid extra to complain.
That's what you have to do sometimes.
Eunuch Pets Rubio, student on visa support, Hamus kick him out. Good. Belisarius Varlinsky, I'm Muslim and I can explain what he's saying. You see, this completely different text with no connection to the other is the proof. Pretty much so. Hobocop, notice the spirit. They want to hurt you after leaving Islam, but are screeching at motard levels we haven't seen after you decided to join Christianity. It's funny. It's pretty funny, man. Pretty funny. Aisha's goat was 16 years old when Aisha started puberty. Tabuk 630.
That's correct. That's correct. See, so you have ill-informed or deceptive Dawa guys who will say, yes, he banged her at 9, but she reached puberty. Not according to the sources. In fact, she hadn't even reached puberty years later. She was still playing with dolls. Years later. So Aisha had not reached puberty for several years of Muhammad having sex with her. Wasn't just at the beginning. And you could point out it's trauma. Trauma and abuse can delay puberty in girls.
Zabiba, I got a big
Trauma,
Zabiba.
stress, and abuse can all delay puberty.
Zabiba, I got a big Zabiba.
Rami Haider, Muslims believe in the Torah, believe the Torah and the Injil contain the Church Fathers, the Gospel of James, the Book of the Council of Nicaea, Rashi's commentary, the Talmud, and the Catholic Catechism. Apparently,
Yep, that's all in there.
That's good.
And that's why once again, guys, it's their followers are too stupid to understand any of what's going on, and they sound like morons to anyone who actually does know what's going on. And Islam seems to be fine with that. Yes, let's keep appealing to people who have absolutely no clue what we're talking about. And that's the goal. Dawah is deception. It only works in an atmosphere of ignorance and stupidity.
You see, James Astard says AP and David owning Islam one video at a time.
We're just getting warmed up, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't really say we are owning them. That would be pretty nasty. If I own it, I would just sell it, or just destroy it. Father Deacon Justinius says, God bless. Thank you. Father Deacon Justinius. Thank you. Christian Theology and Apologetics says, and wasn't Aisha Muhammad's favorite wife? That's even more messed up. Yes, it is. It is true. He was his favorite wife while he was a 50-year-old man, a stinky old man. And she was a little girl, a little child. He was raping her, and she was his favorite. That's Islam for you. That's what Islam is. The morality of that man, the morality of a sick 55-year-old man having sex with a little child and calling her his favorite wife of the wives. That's Islam for you.
Look at this hypocrite. He doesn't even know that if you go to this later book that no Christian believes is the word of God or authoritative, that it says that Mary was a virgin her entire life. Ha ha! And Joseph was ashamed to be married to a young girl because he thought people would make fun of him because it's culturally insensitive. This proves that AP is a hypocrite.
You see what he said right there. You see.
The festive maid, I was late to last night's stream. I did call out people for misusing the phrase. I wanted to clarify I still admire you, Mr. Wood, Mr. AP. I don't know what you're talking about, the festive maid. David, do you know what he's talking
Let's
about?
see, misusing the phrase, that would be Christ is King last night, if that's what we're talking about.
Oh, is that it? If that's it, then I appreciate it.
Then you are banned.
You're banned for life. Christian Gadfly, what's up, Christian Gadfly? How will Dawah attack AP now that he has objective morals through Christ? Oh no. Hey, that's funny. I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they used to attack you for having no objective morals. Now they won't know what to do. Now they will attack you by quoting later sources that you don't believe in.
You see. T. Banger, God bless AP. He who has the Son has life. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate that very, very much. Okay. The Wave Son, why do you need any religion? They're all wrong.
Oh, well, if the Wave Son says it in the comments section of YouTube, it must be true. How did we not think about this before? Everyone, the Wave Son said it. The Wave Son said it. So we all just need to reject every religion because the Wave Son said they're all wrong. And as we know, the Wave Son is completely authoritative and we have to believe everything the Wave Son says.
Oh, but now that Wave Son says it.
Stop embarrassing yourself, Wave Son. Fact is, if you tried to defend that in a debate, you would get crushed in 5 seconds.
But Wave Son said it, man.
Oh, the waves! I forgot. The wave son said it. Everyone, as everyone knows, if you say something in the comment on YouTube, it's true. Isn't that
You know what I
amazing?
never understood? I never went around telling people, "Oh, why do you believe in this religion? Are you stupid?"
Well, that's
Why
what you're
would you
supposed to
believe
do
this
as
religion?
an
Why would you
atheist.
believe
That's
that
what you're
religion?
supposed to do 24 hours a day.
I mean, I didn't do that as an atheist. I never even went up to Muslims and said,
Sky
"Oh,
Daddy,
you
Sky Daddy,
stupid
Sky
idiot,
Daddy,
why do you believe in this?"
Sky Daddy, Sky Daddy. All
Like
religions are stupid.
Despite spending years destroying Islam, I never even went up to Muslims and said, "What's wrong with you, man? Why would you believe this? Wrong."
You don't realize you're supposed to go around and you're supposed to go around the comments of YouTube and just spend every waking moment going, "That's not true. You two arguing about religion is like saying my wizard is better than your wizard." Ha 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 ha.
My Sky Daddy.
Sky Daddy, Sky Daddy, ha ha.
Sky Daddy. Sky
Thank you,
Daddy.
thank you for that powerful point, Wave, whatever.
Sky Daddy. Sky Daddy. Sky Daddy. Sky Daddy.
Mother Queen, welcome to the family. AP. Hi, David Wood. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Mother Queen. Thank you, Mother Queen. You kind of look like David Wood. Yeah. Limes and Stripes says, but AP, have you looked into Christian naturism?
Powerful. I think this is the trend of saying, "Have you looked into all these weird things?"
But isn't that a sect that is like kind of a messed up sect or something? Frieza who says, "Hey, what's up, Frieza? I watched you a lot when I was a child." Hallo AP, du solltest dich mal über Vater Gabriel aus Georgien informieren. Gibt sogar ein Animationsvideo auf YouTube. Fool for Christ. Was geht, David Holtz?
Who's David Holtz? Why is that funny? Who's David Holtz?
Holtz means wood. That's kind of funny. Never thought
It's not
about
funny at all. In
David
Arabic,
Holtz.
I think it's Chesheb.
David Holtz.
Daoud Chesheb.
Father Gabriel from Georgia. I gotta look into that. Emmanuel became a new member. Thank you, Emmanuel. Deneen, Orthodox theology denies the personal guilt of original sin. Contra Rome 5:12-15. Come to Jesus, not a church. God bless. Orthodox theology denies the personal guilt of original sin.
That's not connected to the second part of what she says there. But as far as Romans, yeah, it's saying where there's no law, then you're not guilty of breaking a law. You're still affected by original sin, he says, because you continue to die and so on. But
yeah, you can do that. You can do that, Deneen. You can do that. Garbled Words says Israeli band Mikadem does a gorgeous version of Psalm 23. I think AP said it was one of his favorites. Check out their interpretation. Yes, I would recommend listening to that if you want to hear some beautiful music. It is frankly, it's a gorgeous version. No, I'm talking about frankly. I had a friend from Korea. His name was Frank Lee. No, frankly,
you never had a friend from Korea.
But yeah, no, this song by Mikadem of Psalm 23 is beautiful. I heard of that when I was exploring Judaism, and Mikadem is a Messianic Jewish, so Christian band. They have a wonderful rendition of Psalm 23. It's awesome. Would recommend. Koifos says, "Hey AP, met you at church the other day. Just wanted to say it was nice to meet you."
Hey, does anyone know is that Mikadem? What's that mean? Is that related to Miktam, which you see in the Psalms?
I don't know. What does it mean? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Mikadem in Hebrew means from the east.
Okay, what's Miktam?
In a poetic sense, from eternity. From the east. The name Mikadem, which in biblical Hebrew means from the east, is a reference to the theme running throughout the Bible.
Okay, so that's different from Miktam. I was just wondering
if
they're singing Psalms. I was wondering if that is a modern version of the word.
You see,
Miktam in the Psalms, they say no one knows what it means.
Mikadem is a word deeply used in the Bible, which means from the east, but also has deeper connotations such as ancient, from the holy place, and so on. Pretty based. Hey AP, met you at your church the other day. Just wanted to say it was nice to meet you, though it was a little weird how when you found out I was an atheist, you ripped your shirt off and started beating your chest while trying to suplex me into the nearby lake. Never knew you had a six-pack though. Nice. Well, you shouldn't be posting this online. I thought this would stay between us, but
Yeah.
based. Veritas, Daily Wood, why didn't What? What is Daily Wood?
This is what I have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. It's the level of maturity on AP's channel. And AP says that Scythe looks high. I guess I'll just read this since AP is incapable right now. David Wood, why don't you agree? Apocrypha is scripture when early church, see Council of Rome did. Congrats, AP, as fellow ex-Muslim Christian. Sorry for distraction. All right. Gonna do a little something here. Gonna ask AI. When did Apocrypha become canon? April 8th, 1546. Yes, you had the Apocrypha. Yes, some people used them and so on. Not canon until 1546, the Council of Trent.
Hey, you should start a podcast and call it Daily Wood.
Daily Wood, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Or since this is the level of humor on AP's channel, I should do a morning show and call it Morning Wood.
That would really crack AP up.
Oh man. I don't know why I found that so funny.
Nor does anyone. Daily Wood. That's what set him off, ladies and gentlemen. Now you know what cracks AP up.
Anyway, let's not be childish. Frieza Oho said, I forgot to mention that this short movie is on the Chanel Trisagion Films. Not sure what Chanel has to do with it. On Trisagion Films.
Why did Frieza switch from German to English?
And why is he wearing Chanel? Why are you doing advertisement for Chanel? They really sunk pretty low if they do that. Trisagion Films about Father Gabriel of Georgia, cloaked in faith and humility, David Wood based. Interesting. I just subscribed to Trisagion Films. I might check that out. Son of a Bin says, just finished reading the Quran yesterday. It read like me repeating points repeatedly to try to hit the word count on an essay. Surely this is proof.
And Allah is very, 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 very merciful. And most, really, really, most, very much knowing. Yep, that's about right. That does sound like a friend.
Arthur Joe says, a book called Mary in Early Christian Faith and Devotion suggests that stories and elements from the infancy Gospel of James were probably in circulation before it was written, which is why the Catholic Orthodox Church still believes some of it. This is true. There are aspects of writings, such as the Proto-Evangelium.
Yeah, there are things that you find in some of these sources, like the names of Mary's parents and someone would say, okay, where's this coming from? Was this based on some reliable tradition or something like that? But yeah, people, you can get some historical details and stuff. Other things are People were making things up at various points to respond to objections. That was going on.
Yeah. Wait, what we're talking? Oh, yeah. This is why in the Orthodox and Catholic Church, for example, they will still remember the parents of Mary by their names and so on. It's powerful. The festive maid. The Bible doesn't affirm pedophilia.
Oh, really? Then why does it say that Rebecca was 3 years old?
Good point.
In Book of Trust Me, bro.
Michael says, greetings from Israel. It was a long time since I saw you live. Happy for your spiritual journey, and I hope to meet you in Israel, says Michael. Thank you so much,
See?
Michael.
Michael says that I will destroy you for your faith in Jesus.
Yes.
You better not say Christ is king, or we will destroy you.
That would be. We don't want people saying Christ is king. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. I hope to one day do another Israel thing. I was thinking I would do that this year, beginning of this year. Didn't really happen. Let's see. Aleris Verus says, why is AP never wrong? This is because AP doesn't actually exist. And what doesn't exist cannot be wrong.
AP was a Muslim. He was wrong about that. And he was an atheist. He was wrong about that. So what do you mean when you say he's never wrong?
That's a good question. Materialist, did AP's conversion to Christianity nuke Allah?
Nuked. You got to say nuked.
Nuked Allah.
Israel just nuked.
Rigo Barney, thank you, Daily Wire and Associated Press. Caveman Mo and his toy boy Angel. This is indeed true. Very, very much
true
so.
indeed.
Arm Orthodoxy, but Rebecca was 3. Cries in Dawa. But Rebecca was 3.
Perfect example of them just constantly lying about people they claim to respect.
Rebecca was a 3-year-old woman who was strong and was carrying all the water of the camels and all that. It was pretty based. Pretty based. If Momo went to McDonald's, says Rick Newton, he would ask for the kids combo, thinking Aisha was in it. A happy meal includes Dihya. I mean, Angel Gabriel. Holy man. Matthias says Muhammad and Dihya featured in Brokeback Kaaba. Elisa Jane Tarrant says, you've seen them ask demons. So happy you're live. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jingoistic Pig. Ray Shields debate. I would suggest Josh Hammer. I don't know who Josh Hammer is. I still doubt that Jake Shields will ever actually get back for that debate. If it ever happens, it'll be kind of funny. Emily says, if Muslims say they respect Jesus as a prophet, then why don't they respect anything that Jesus prophesied about? Because of... I don't know. That's a good point. Moshka, what's up, Mosh? What's up, Mosh? Hope you're having a fantastic time. This goat deserves the 5 Ds. David obliges, please. David is not responsive.
This goat deserves the 5 Ds. What do you mean, goat?
He means Scythe Talk, man. Who else is a goat?
The 5 Ds of Dawah. You got to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. Those are the 5 Ds of Dawah. You got to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge.
Sorry, I was just working on a Zabiba song. Chad says, God bless you, AP. God bless you, Dawood.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hammer of Davy says, you guys should get a medal for your patience getting through Saif's video. Holy crap, LMAO. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun, you know. It also, there's also something to it, which is like when you look at really stupid stuff and kind of stupid people who take themselves seriously, it makes you feel better about yourself because you don't feel as stupid. You know, that it is the human experience. A pusillanimous leather grape on the Zabiba machine of the cow says, now that you are a catechism, what are your thoughts on the differences between supralapsarianism and infralapsarianism in Calvinist, peace be upon him, theology? This is good.
I have many thoughts on it. David, you're muted.
AP has been humiliated again.
Ephraim says Judaism doesn't proselytize its beliefs. This is correct. Did anyone say that? If anyone said that, I'm going to slap them. Peace be upon me. AP, glad you became Eastern Orthodox. You went back to your roots. Now let's take Constantinople back and free Hagia Sophia. Let's get our crusades back and free Mecca. That's the plan. I mean, I am, as I said, I am only on my way. I'm currently doing the whole catechumen thing. As soon as I can officially call myself an Eastern Orthodox Christian, I will be commanding the reconquest of Constantinople and the retaking of the Hagia Sophia the next day. So just stay tuned for that. Arm Orthodoxy, love to hear about Saint Basil. You should go to an Armenian church, AP. We'd love to have you. Or now you want me to pick a different church? Fine. Rick Newton, Surah 127, Real Islam. One Islam is false, and Momo was gay. This 100% accurate document was found recently. Trust me, bro. An angel gave it to me. You should spread that. Mosh Cohen, just use their books against them. I can't believe this is how he chose to finish when their books of stupidity are literally a gold mine for us. True. Ephraim became a YouTube member. Welcome, man. Welcome to the club. Maggard John, guys, does Quran 112, 1-4 end your argument? Yes, it does. David, now look at this. Now, look. So.
This is powerful.
So. Oh, wait, wrong one. Embarrassing. So here, 112. Say he is Allah, who is one. Allah, the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent. Oh no! How did I not see this before? Oh no! Oh no, David. Do you have to now become a Muslim, David?
Yeah, I'm wondering what argument this is supposed to end. Like, which argument was this supposed to end?
Saif Talk actually added this to the end of the video to say, and this verse, this surah from the Quran, Surah Ikhlas from the Quran, is a perfect response for the Christians who worship a human being, because we only worship Allah.
Doesn't that actually say he is one of?
Maybe. He's one of us. Christina says, I am always surprised by how good David Wood is at predicting the Dawa Boys' next moves. He sees it, man. He sees the next moves all the time.
We know what they're going to do.
St. John Chrysostom was so based because of his teachings that he earned the name Chrysostom, which means golden-mouthed. Wasn't it because he was a fantastic preacher or like a fantastic speaker? A man of fantastic, whatever, something like that. I know he's very well known for how based he was. Shane Johnson, David, the Daily Wire. Have you done a video about the implications of Jesus being called the Messiah in the Quran? Do they know the importance? Do they not know the importance of the title of Messiah?
They have absolutely no clue what Messiah means. So, no, they don't know.
But then why do they say that Jesus is the Messiah?
They have no idea. Muhammad heard that people call Jesus the Christ and rolled with it, not understanding the implications. It's just like he rolled with calling Jesus the Word of God and had no idea what that meant. I see you got your Schofield Bible there.
Oh, yeah, I was just reading my Schofield Bible that I read every day. Fat Man says, what depth of atheism do you use? Not believing in anything or not believing in God? How do you avoid the issue of deaf God then? Also, would do atheist deb? David.
What? Hang on. No, hey, I just looked it up. Any Arabic speakers want to confirm that Surah 112 verse 1 actually says he is one of It just drops it off. Interesting. Go ahead. Sorry about that. What was that?
Chance Schofield says based. Fatman says, what depth of atheism do you use? Not believing in anything or not believing in God? How do you avoid the issue of deaf God then? Also, what do atheists deb?
I don't know. I've always wondered, do atheists deb?
Yeah, but do you have an answer to what do atheists deb?
No. No one knows why atheists deb.
See? There you have it. Now you have it. You have a question to think about. Let that sink in for a while.
No,
Um,
atheism wouldn't mean not believing in anything or something like that. I mean, if you just look at it, theism, not theism. So what you have is you have a traditional definition of atheism, which was the claim that God doesn't exist. And then you have the stronger version of that, which is no sort of anything divine exists. And then you have the more recent version, which is atheism is just an absence of belief. It's a lack of belief, which then you used to have a useful distinction between atheism and agnosticism, whereas like as the new atheists define atheism, it's lost its distinction. So they blurred it, and now you have to say, okay, what's a person who says there is no God actually called? Because they say no, an atheist is simply one who lacks belief. And it's like, okay, so people, agnostics, they lack belief. Do we have a term for a person who says there is no God? What's the term for that? You can't just say atheist because that has a broader meaning to it.
You see,
That's true.
You see, Deborah, that's true. Asa, love you both dearly. We love you too, Asa. Thank you. Zinger Miro says, Daily Wire, how were you able to convert Nabil Qureshi? Did you force him?
No, I didn't convert Nabil Qureshi. In fact, I got to a point where I realized there was nothing else I could do. That's when he started having like dreams and visions and so on.
Dreams and visions.
So if you wanted to say what happened with Nabil over a period of years of discussions, he started doubting his religion and was not as confident in his arguments for his religion, and he agreed that Christianity actually does have good arguments, good reasons in its favor, and so he basically got to where he took it seriously as an option, but still was not, at that point, he was not going to convert. It was at that point, he was basically, I don't know what to believe, so I might as well just continue being a Muslim. And after that, that's when he started having like dreams and visions and so on, as far as his actual conversion.
And gotta beg the Bieber.
Metalmorphosis says David Wood's new Daily Shorts channel.
That was, hey, welcome to Daily Wood, where you get my shorts. You find out what's in if you want to know what's in my shorts, check this out. That'd be funny.
Harold B. But AP, have you looked into the order of Zach Room? Just don't visit Tristram.
Good point.
Fun, good. Only cams. Need help setting up a video series for Daily Wood. Hilarious Fearless.
But it's funny, they got Cameron Bertuzzi on there.
Yeah.
Only cams.
If AP doesn't exist, does it make him Palestine? It does actually, yes.
Free AP.
Songs of Relief. The eyes of the leather straps of the end urinating upon one another. Homosexuality should be fine, but the people, you're not fit to be a mother. This is a book. My head has become soundboard. That's what happens.
You are not even fit to be a mother.
That's what happens if you've watched this channel and watched David's channel. You get sick in your mind. Are you sick in the mind? Now that you are Christian, says Gotup, can you solve the EO and RC based schism? Thanks. Yeah, this is one of my plans as well. I made like I put 3 things on my list to sort out on the next day once I get baptized. One of them is to reconquer Constantinople and take back the Hagia Sophia and dedicate it once again to becoming a church. And the number 2 is to put an end to the schism and to unite the Eastern Roman and the the Eastern Orthodox and the Roman Catholic Church, and once again turn it into one united Catholic Apostolic Church. This is one of my goals. So just wait for my baptism. Once my baptism is done, I will do this. I will take care of this as well. No problem. Jeremy Mott, Deus Volt. You see. Chef Lou says, do you guys know a website where I can compare qira'ats? Trying to show someone different. Well, God bless you both. Say it with your chest, AP.
There are definitely look up just do a search for like differences between Hafs and Warsh and so on. If you want to compare a bunch of them, then you can. Well, this would require grabbing a book, but if you go to the bridges, they've got translations of the 10 Qira'at, so you actually have translations of that give you the differences and so on.
Based. Mosh Cohen, GoFundMe for AP to get baptized in the Jordan River. Super serious. This could be such a beautiful journey. Super serious.
Look, AP. Look, AP. Hang on.
What?
There you go. Check this out. Look. Na'Yif apparently did not listen to one word of this live stream. Jumps in. Apostasy laws in Deuteronomy 13. Ha 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 ha. Not realizing we spent like what 20 minutes going on that.
But he also said,
and have been multiple.
He also said, do not insult other religions, be respectful. Well, you follow a child molester and rapist, so what? It's not my fault.
Yeah, and the Quran is filled with insults against other people and their beliefs and so on. So stop being a hypocrite. And the Quran is garbage. Islam is completely ridiculous nonsense straight from the pits of hell.
If you don't want me to insult your religion, why do you follow a child molesting rapist that also commanded to execute apostates like myself?
Yeah, it's like hey, look, we've got our prophet. He had sex with a prepubescent 9-year-old girl, and he was getting banged all the time by D.L. Kalbi, and he's prancing around in his child bride's nightie, and he banged this dead woman, but don't make fun of him. It's like, okay, if what you're saying is we can't make fun of anything, because if there's anything in the universe, in history, that should be made fun of, it's Muhammad. So if you say we can't make fun of him, then there's just nothing to make fun of.
Now that Mosh Cohen says, GoFundMe for AP to get baptized in the Jordan River, I feel like, hey, what can I find to get baptized in the Jordan River? See, here's a Jew rejoicing over somebody getting baptized.
Because he wants to kill you when you get there to stop you from being baptized. Because we know what the Jews are doing.
Thank you, Mosh. Thank you. You're very beast.
That's not going to work, because AP's church is going to insist that
nope, you have to be baptized in this tank in our church, or you're not a real Christian.
And so he'd have to do the GoFundMe for like him and his priest to go over there.
Yeah, I'll probably have to take my priest with me to the Jordan River.
Hey, you should ask him. He said, hey, if I did a GoFundMe so you could baptize me in the Jordan River.
Just for one day. We just go there, you baptize
me. Fly over there,
and we come back.
Baptize me. We got to get the recording. Hey, yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy AP here, about to get baptized. What?
That'll be funny. Yeshua the King, we got so much funds from the GoFundMe that I did. We don't need a GoFundMe for anything, for any that kind of stuff. I would happily spend from that. So many thanks, everyone who, especially thanks to Central Dawa, who helped there with the GoFundMe. Yeshua the King asked ChatGPT, out of all the religions, if you had to choose only one religion as true based on historical evidence, philosophical coherence, spiritual experience, and social impact, which one would it be? I'm not sure if you can actually ask ChatGPT reliably such a question. However, I kind of want to try it anyway. La 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 la. Really? That's funny. I just asked and it said Christianity. Look at that. I can show you. I can show you right here. See? I took the question directly as in the super chat here and asked. And unlike Lily J, I don't have any settings giving me a bias. It said, out of all the religions, if you had to choose only one religion as true based on historical evidence, philosophical coherence, spiritual experiences, and social impact, which one would it be? Based on historical evidence, philosophical coherence, spiritual experiences, and social impact, Christianity is the strongest candidate. That's what ChatGPT said. This is very funny. Now, I don't want to use ChatGPT's response to such a question as authoritative or evidence for anything, but it's kind of funny to see. So, historical evidence, strong textual reliability, archaeological findings corroborate biblical events and figures, early non-Christian sources, the rapid spread of Christianity, philosophical coherence, a well-developed metaphysical framework. The problem of evil is addressed through free will, suffering as redemptive, and the incarnation, unparalleled ethical teachings, Sermon on the Mount, love your enemies, forgiveness, dignity of individuals, harmonization of justice and mercy through Christ's atonement. Spiritual experiences, countless testimonies of personal transformation, Augustine, Pascal, C.S. Lewis, modern experiences, documented miracles, including near-death experiences, healing accounts, and Marian apparitions. Really? Wait a minute. Now I kind of want to check if my ChatGPT has any settings that give it a bias. Because it just cited Marian apparitions as documented miracles. That's interesting. Personalizations, memory, seeks concise, evidence-based explanations. Prefers direct, swift, and comprehensive answers. Answers should address only what is asked. No irrelevant stuff. When the user asks for text provided without any explanations, this includes song text. User prefers answers always be in English unless explicitly requested in a different language. Answers should be addressed only what is asked. Damn. This is interesting. I'm serious. Wait a minute. I think I'm going to put my settings on the screen here just to show that I don't have any settings biases here. Let's see. Where is my settings on the computer here? Let's see. La 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 la. La 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 la. This is funny. Here are my settings. Look, here are my settings for ChatGPT. I can show it right here. Unlike Lily J, these literally I'm using these settings. When the user asks for a text provided without any explanations, this includes song text. Prefers not to use AA This is a Turkish state news.
Oh, thought it was Alcoholics Anonymous.
No, I specifically instructed it to never use it as a source when it gives me.
Do not tell me not to be an alcoholic.
Seeks concise, evidence-based explanations, even for complex historical topics like Holocaust data. Never spell out Yahweh in English or Hebrew. Always replace it with Lord Adonai Hashem. I asked this when I was doing my Jewish things. Prefers direct, swift, and comprehensive answers with no disclaimers, and so on. So these are my settings, and it actually gave me, so there's no bias here for any religion, and it actually gave me that it would pick Christianity. This is very, very interesting. Documented miracles, consistent reports of divine encounters across cultures and time periods, social impact, foundation for human rights, abolition of slavery, hospital and charitable institutions, inspired great thinkers, Aquinas, Newton, Descartes, movements, scientific revolution, Western law, resilient across cultures and eras, growing even under oppression, central to some of the greatest work of art, music, and literature. While other religions have strength, Christianity uniquely combines historical validation, deep philosophical reasoning, transformative spiritual experiences, and unparalleled social impact. Wow.
It's official. ChatGPT
Damn.
is a Christian.
Damn.
Seriously, dude, you should make a little response to Lily J out of that. Because it could be a short one that actually makes a good point.
That's pretty interesting. Anyway.
Just makes a good point about how she's obviously manipulating ChatGPT.
Well, this is the proof. Christianity is truth.
Yeah, I mean, think if we were actually as desperate as the Ummah is, you would just post that and then go, this is why I'm converting to Christianity, and then that would be it, and millions of people would, this is the proof.
You see. Let me ask a follow-up question. I asked which denomination it would be the best candidate. It didn't give me a direct answer, but it said the best candidate for a Christian denomination depends on the criteria you prioritize. Here's a breakdown of key contenders. Roman Catholicism claims apostolic succession from Peter, centralized authority, strong historical continuity and global influence. Eastern Orthodoxy emphasizes mythical theology and early church continuity, liturgical richness, and apostolic succession. Less centralized in Catholicism, but retains strong traditionalism. Protestantism, Lutheranism retains sacrament, anyway, and so on. So if prioritizing historical continuity and authority, Catholicism or Orthodoxy. If prioritizing scripture and personal faith, Protestantism or evangelicalism. If emphasizing spiritual experience, Pentecostalism. That's very funny.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we have Naif again.
Dude chose the religion with the most tampered book. You need to be sincere for real.
That's interesting. So, guys, in case anyone doesn't know,
you chose the religion with the most tempered little child, though.
Yeah, you chose the religion of tampering with little kids' private parts, Naif. So pretty gross. As far as the most tampered book, you don't realize Surah 3 verses 3-4 say that Allah revealed the Torah and the Gospel, and then you have Surah 18 verse 27 and Surah 6 verse 115, both of which say no one can change Allah's words. And therefore, you just said that Allah's words have been tampered with, which he says can never happen. And therefore, thank you, the Quran, according to you, is a lie. And your God is a big liar. And therefore, your prophet just was making things up. Not according to me, according to you. But thank you for your help.
Powerful. Hey, McFly, wasn't this dude the robotic shouty Muslim guy from a year ago? He seems to have calmed down a bit. Must be taking his meds. I know, right? That's what I noticed too. Saif seems less shouting. I don't know why. Maybe he listens to us finally and decided not to shout anymore. Ephraim, Christians and Jews may disagree, but we want Messiah. Powerfully based.
That's actually a we mentioned this a while back. I'm trying to think who was pointing it out, but when people say,
"Oh, how can you believe that your religion is right and everyone else is wrong?"
It's important to keep in mind when you say, "Hey, some other group is wrong," you're not saying they're wrong about everything. You could say, you could believe they're 90% right, and they got something important wrong, and so on. So, yeah, Jews and Christians agree on a ton of things.
You see. Timothy Freeman finally says Marian apparitions are documented miracles and have many eyewitness testimonies. What's your problem, AP? Our Lady of Guadalupe, Lourdes, Fatima, Miracle of the Sun, La Salette, Knox, to name a few. I didn't object to anything. I'm just saying, it's just usually surprising of an AI thing to acknowledge any miracle reports as documented miracle evidence. It just seems like it would usually give a more secular understanding of things, but the fact that it actually cited Marian apparitions as documented miracles is kind of interesting. That's all I'm saying. That said, I just personally usually have my issues with miracles. When people talk to me about miracles and eschatology, I lose interest, which is why I usually kind of don't want people talking to me about miracles and eschatology. I don't know. That's just my personal thing. Unless I see a miracle directly happening right in front of me.
It's funny. I could be like,
AP, I got my arm chopped off and it grew back. It's a miracle. And be like, I don't care. Shut up.
Shut up. Don't talk to me about it.
Did I ask you? Did I say I'm interested in whether your arm grew back?
Anyway, David, are we doing something tomorrow?
Of course we're doing something tomorrow. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday indeed. Tomorrow is church. All right. All right, everybody.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on. You got the parting comment from Mrs. Apostate.
No foundation, no makeup needed. My Zabiba shine, yeah, I really exceed. Zabiba, I got a big Zabiba. Front row flex, yeah, I'm making them believers. Zabiba, Yes.
Still a work in progress.
Very based.
Oh, my wife said, "Hey, we're going to talk about miracles and eschatology when you're done." Nice, nice. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I actually, speaking of Zabiba music, when I was warming up to Gregorian chanting and all that, I thought, hey, it would be kind of cool if there was a song, a chant about Zabibas. So
Upon my brow behold Zabiba, a faithful sign, my great Zabiba. Through sojourn it blooms in might, gift of Allah, my soul's delight.
powerful.
Gloria, Gloria, nella Zabiba.
Isn't it beautiful, man? Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, that makes me want to convert and bang my head on the floor.
Anyway, thanks all for watching.
We should make a video where like we want Zabibas too, just banging our heads on something until we get a spot. Like, look, and then we walk down. Hey, and then it'll show us walking by a mosque. We walk by a mosque, and people like are all jealous of our Zabibas. We're like, and all the ladies are like, ooh,
Oh, look at his Zabiba.
and we're like, you like the Zabiba? Then we have to see the Zabubas to know if we're compatible.
Catherine just wanted to say welcome AP into the church as catechumen. Thank you. I was watching AP and David in 2019 and shortly became Orthodox. May God grant you and your family many years. Thank you. Appreciate that very much, Catherine. Thank you. And we will be united once again all tomorrow before finally the world ends. Thanks everybody for watching. And as always, and for those who don't speak the language of goats, here is the translator, a goat himself who learned our language and now speaks it as well.
Stay away from Islam.